Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another installment of the Casually Chelsea show. I'm accompanied here by the Bridge Nation, as well as your host here, Marshalldbdx, Casually FC, Casual, whatever you'd like to call me. You guys already know? You know what to do. Go ahead and smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Be sure to check out the links in the description. Everyone's channels are there, including Ahmed's. Be sure to also leave a comment if you're watching this in the future and have some insight and opinions on what we're going to be discussing today. And then last but not least, check out the memberships. Actually, I will add another thing. I don't say this often enough, but share the video. So if you're over on Twitter or if you're over on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, whatever you use nowadays, I don't know. Go ahead and share the video. It helps us out tremendously with the algorithm, and it helps spread the word, the good word of Casually FC, one of the few platforms out there that give you a based analysis, no agendas, no negativity, no over positivity, no toxicity, none of the itidities, just news, opinions, how we see it. But ladies and gents, we got a nice show for you. Big up to everyone in the chat already. Welcome to the live podcast, live stream, live whatever you want to call it. It's live. It's on YouTube. We're here and we're ready to go. Let's start off with the first story. We have a little bit of stuff to talk about. Obviously, if you guys read the title and you see the thumbnail, big things to discuss today. Big things to discuss. More than you can believe. So let's go ahead and start off with the first story that we have here is Super League is back. Interesting. Huh? All right, let's look into this. And obviously, can't be too surprised about it. We knew this was going to make a comeback at some point. But if it's legitimate or not, we shall see. Let's go ahead and discuss this with Ahmed, our friend here. So we have here from Diario AS. Right? Diario AS.
It's that Diadoras, no?
No, that's not Diadora. It's Diario. Diario AS. So Diadora is a different one. And it's also, Diadora still exists?
I thought that's what this one was. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't even remember.
Maybe I'm just lying to
Shout out to the Diadora OGs, bro. If you know, you know. But yeah, so breaking, the Super League plans to start in September of 2025. Now, obviously, I don't think it's going to start in this upcoming September. In a year from now, like, I doubt it. But there's discussion being had. You know, we have this guy here, Paez, who is like the forefront, the leader, the face of this whole thing. And a Florentino, right? But I don't know. I feel like to an extent, I didn't like how it was presented. To an extent, like when it came out, 2-3 years ago, I believe, and there was the whole, not riots, but there was protest against it.
Are you calling me a riot, Marshall?
No. I don't know, like when it was being protested against, I don't think it was it wasn't formulated enough. Let's just say that. I think they didn't think about it enough. They didn't think about how relegation was going to work or promotion. It seemed like it was going to be exclusively left to the historically most important clubs out there. Or the most mainstream ones, the most famous ones, the popular ones. And it seemed like a popularity contest, and I was opposed to it because it just seemed unfair. There was no punishment for any clubs to like get demoted. It was a change of format. I didn't oppose the idea of it. It's just how you're going to execute it is what makes it different. And obviously, some of these clubs, are dead clubs. Let's be honest about it. Some of the clubs that were in it were just dead clubs that don't deserve to be there. Haven't done anything.
Can you give me an example of a dead club, please?
United.
That's a fair point.
It's hard to be fair, right? Like, if we're looking at pedigree, if we're looking at honors and like the best clubs in the world, let's be honest, man. Arsenal weren't up there until the last 2 years. And even then, like, it's still a discussion to be had. They haven't won any, trophies in Europe. They haven't won a domestic trophy in 20 years.
I've won a demonstration in 5 years.
I'm sorry, the league.
No,
I
but
should
yeah,
say the leagues.
yeah.
The league. The league has been 20 years, right?
Yeah,
Or am I
it's
fucking
been
having
2
a
decades, as you said. Yeah, it's been
Okay.
2 decades. Yeah, as you
Yeah,
said.
it's been a long time. So, like, do they deserve to be there, or is it just popularity? So now I'm assuming they're gonna come and approach this in a much different way, obviously. But enough of me waffling. Ahmed, I mean, what do you think about this? Where
I
do you
really
stand on
doubt.
this?
So I want to start obviously this 2025 date for next season. Essentially, I just doubt that that's going to be possible, bro. I just think I don't. Again, a lot of clubs have already openly stated they don't want to join it unless it's something that we don't know that's occurring in the background. I highly doubt that this is going to be when it happens. I think the other question, I think for me, becomes, you know, with the way the UCL format has been set up and everything like that, is that providing more money now? That because like I think a big thing about, obviously, sadly, in this new football area, it's always been about money, right? And I think particularly in regards to like now that if you look at a lot of these other leagues, bro, they're not making as much money anymore as the EPL. Like the EPL, bro, it giraffes some of these leagues by double, essentially. Like it's making double the money at some points than what they're making. So I think for a lot of these other clubs, bro, there's like a desperation, a real need that is needed, but basically for this to happen. Now, I just don't see it happening at this point in time. As to what I want the Super League to happen, I don't think I want it to happen. The reason why a lot of these other clubs want it to happen is because they want it because they feel like, oh, I just got dunked on. Oh well, we're gonna keep this pushing. Sorry. Let's just do it like this. Let me make myself. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Revolt. Sorry, bro. I got railroaded. My apologies.
The point I wanted. Okay, go ahead.
So to actually finish off what I was saying to you, bro, I think the main thing, and I'll say this again, is that a lot of these other clubs can't compete with the EPL in terms of transfers, the financial money, the financial warfare. Barcelona, you're seeing how it is right now. You know, Real Madrid, you know, for all the accolades and the glory they're getting right now, boys, we need to realize, half the squad they've gotten, but it's pretty much for free. You know, Mbappe, they got for free. Vinicius Jr., I think they got it for something like 30 million by discounting. Yeah, same with Rodrigo, right? That's like their front line. Valverde was, I think, something very similar. Carvajal,
Tchouaméni was free. Camavinga was free. I'm pretty sure.
Tchouaméni, I think, was 80 million. If I'm not mistaken. So they got Tchouaméni for 80 million. They got what's it called? Camavinga for 30 million euros from Rennes, right? Obviously they got Rudiger on a free. So again, they're only spending on one player only, like if not max two, and the amount of the money they're spending is very little, right? And so for me, when you're looking at what they're doing and how they're spending their money, it's key for us to understand, like, they are already they're trying to just use literally their badge power now to bring players there. Literally what it comes down to now. Badge power and wage structure. They're almost doing the NBA structure stuff. So like, you know this, bro. By how in the NBA, they essentially, a lot of these guys prefer to do free agency because the contract they get now is going to be much bigger. They get all that stuff, etc. Right, much more lucrative. And it's the same in football now, where that's become the bigger market for you if you're not going to get money by. So I think for me, the other leagues want to catch up to us. The other leagues can't compete with us. So for me, it's a question of like, I don't want to be doing that. Why do I want to be helping out these guys? Like when they're trying to fuck us over and because they're trying to come back to our level. No.
So, let me ask you something. How do you feel about the new format of the UCL? Are you against it? Do you like it? Where do you stand with that?
The new format, it's got extra games. I like this idea of maybe like a table and then you're facing more harsh competition. I think that's I like that idea. I think the number of games though is the issue, right? Because like the amount of games these guys are playing now, it's a lot of games. And like if the clubs are not willing to add more players to the squad or look into the academy and get players that can rotate with them, then it becomes 100%. A bit of a sticky point, right?
Yeah,
because
no, 100%.
I think like the thing about us here is that luckily we're playing Conference League football, which means that we're literally playing the same amount of games you would have played if you were in the UCL last season or in the Europa League last season.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I feel like that's a gift that we've been able to take more so than anything else.
But I mean, okay. So from what I heard, it seems like you do like it. Do you think that and I'm only saying this is like the best example I can pull from. Do you think the issue with so many people being against, or one of the issues with so many people being against this whole Super League thing, is just because it's a different format? Do you think people just don't like change, or do you just genuinely feel that people, the strongest opinion against it and the biggest push against it is probably because of just the financial aspect of it and how unfair it is for the smaller teams?
I think the Super League thing, yeah. I think, I'm one of those guys that, a lot of people might not like to hear me say this. I'm sadly of the belief that the Conference League is a reality that's going to happen. The Super League is a reality that's going to happen. Like, I think that's going to happen, whether people want to admit or not, whether it be 5 years from now, I think 10 years, 20 years from now. I think there's a sad inevitability in regards to this is going to take place. So whether, I'm happy about it, whether you're happy about it, this is going to take place. You're moist, bro. You're just moist. You know what I mean? That's who you are. But you know what I mean? But so I just think that the reason of it being inevitable, the reality of that happening at this point, you got to, at some point you got to accept it. Now the Champions League format, I think, is them trying to create like a middle ground and everything like that for it to take place. But I just doubt that's going to happen. In my personal opinion, but I think the reality is Super League probably is going to happen in the next decade. My personal opinion, that's my prediction.
See, like part of me thinks that this is. Listen, let's just put this out there. I think me and you can both agree, and the chat and everyone listening can agree that obviously this is UEFA, a method that UEFA is trying to pull to get more money out of the sport. Obviously, that is without a doubt, right? But on the other hand, and listen, I'm not trying to take away from the fact that football is, if not one of the most popular sports in the world, right? I think there does come a point where the sport evolves and how it's played gets evolved.
But the thing is, the sport has already evolved, Marshall. Look at it, bro. Like the way that football clubs were being run 20 years ago is not the same as it's being run right now. Like, I think the key thing, yeah,
but that's on a performance level. I'm talking more on a structure.
I'm being serious. Like on a structural level, the way football has been run on a structural level by clubs themselves, within themselves. For example, look at Chelsea, look at us, look at a lot of these clubs, bro. Where the way they were being run 20 years ago is not the same as they were being run. Like, right now, for example, right? So, like, I think the other thing we need to realize, and like, again, this is not something I'm against, this just when I use this term, hopefully people understand. I think the Americanization of football, particularly the way in which stuff has happened in football, I think has been I think at least if you look at the top teams, has been a net positive for these guys, right? Because it's allowed them to be run a lot more better, a lot more efficiently, right? And it's been a lot more effective, and at least, trying to bring out better young talent. I mean, that's one thing, I have to, like, if you're going to give credit to at least the Americanization side of stuff, that's what you have to give credit for, right? But I think the question you're asking, right? And I think the problem is, and this is why I'm going to reply to Vic, UEFA and FIFA are taking 50%, by the way, of the money. I don't know if people know this, right? They take 50% of the money. The clubs are only getting 51% of the money. But that's the reason why the clubs were trying to initially do the Super League, by the way, right? That's the main issue. The reason why they've been trying to do this stuff for so long is because they want bigger. It's because of money, boys, right? They want to make more money. 100%. And when the whole competition organizations are taking 50% of the whole cash, and you only earn 50% of that, and remember, and like, if we need to be honest, Marshall, and listen, I know this might be a hot take from me. I don't really feel like the FIFA do too much. Does FIFA do too much, really? They don't do that much,
not
bro.
That I know.
UEFA don't do that much that I'm aware of, bro. Like, like for me, it becomes a question of like, what the money they're earning. Yeah, we know how sadly the corruption scandals that have occurred previously. But it's like, where this money going towards that you earn 50%? Like, you're meant to essentially be a non-profit organization. You're not even a charity. You're essentially a charity organization. Yeah. So do you necessarily need that 50%? Would it not be better for you to be given more money to the clubs?
I'm saying, and listen, like what Ahmed said earlier too, like there's a validity to what he said on this point, is that this is inevitable. It's gonna happen at some point. When UEFA or FIFA look at how much money is being made in American sports, from the commercial aspect, from the structural aspect, for how it's run and stuff, there is a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Not greed, but there's a lot of envy, right? When you see the amount of money that comes into the American sports. So obviously FIFA, UEFA, they're going to look out for their pockets. They're going to want to slice of the pie. And in a sense, I just think it's inevitable. Super League is going to happen at some point. And I just hope that if and when it does happen, it's fair, it's well structured, and it makes sense. Because at the end of the day, like if it's anything near what was presented at first, I don't really like it. There needs to be some sort of punishment or reward, and there needs to be a good balance on it. But I think that's enough of the Super League talk. I mean, obviously we're going to talk about it again if it ever comes up again. Also, Vader, to answer your question, I think Ahmed would agree with me. Yes, there is a lot of pressure for Chelsea.
He's trolling.
He is, bro. Obviously there is pressure to win the Conference League. You look at the
but the thing
is,
Vic is saying that's the breakaway. There's not enough. But they did that last time, bro. This time it will be, yes, we can break away again. Let us break away again. And again, that's the thing that I think people understand. The clubs fundamentally want more. And the reality is, bro, the big thing about football is, sadly, it's not a working class game anymore, boys. You know what I mean? It's now a sport of greed. No, Chelsea, listen, yeah, for all the stuff we do now at Chelsea, bro, what's the one thing we always hear about Chelsea? Improving the brand, making the brand stronger. You know what I mean? Like, I know we discussed this maybe today about, like, look at the stuff that's happening for the 120th anniversary for the club, that they've copyrighted some stuff from the club. Like, you know, so again, do you get what I'm saying? Like, this is a big thing now. That's why, again, when I talk about the Americanization of sport, I mean, the business side, really. Like, they brought the business side to football. And football, the business of football has been coming for a long, long time. When you're the biggest sport in the world, yeah, business got to come for you, bro. Business. Like, I mean, again, look at. I always say, just look at the NFL, the amount of money that makes, and that's only in one country, boys. It's in one country.
And you hit the nail on the head that it's not like a workman's sport anymore. Like, looking from within, like, look what it takes to become a professional. 9 times out of 10, you have parents that pay for academies, that pay for trainings and coaching. And a lot of these kids, especially in the US, that's a big, actually, I should speak for myself on this. I should speak for the US on this, because I don't think the UK is very much like this, but I'm sure there's some similarities.
Listen, I think the UK, man, it's not that far away from what you guys are talking about. Because, like, look at the amount of nepotism that's occurring in football, bro. I mean, you've got the son of this guy's playing that ball, the grandson of this guy's playing. Like, bro, you've got 4 generations. I think it was, Hinselwood, big up to him. Like, congratulations to him for actually getting a football career. His dad played for Brighton. His grandfather played for Brighton. You've got 3 generations there. Look at Paolo Maldini.
Look at Maldini, bro.
Bro, the best example we have in-house in our own football club, Frank Lampard, bro. Like, I'll probably in top 2, top 3 greatest legends of all time, bro. Yeah. His dad was a West Ham cult hero, if I'm not mistaken, right? So again, do you see the point I'm trying to get at? Like, this is like, again, this is not something that's like, you know,
heritage.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
But yeah, all right. I mean, we'll definitely be coming back to the Super League when the topic comes back. Obviously, I think me and Ahmed both agree. He said it earlier. I don't think this is happening in September, but it is going to happen at some point. But that being said, let's go ahead on to some good vibes. And by good vibes, I mean, let's go ahead and talk about some Maresca vibes. Real quickly, stuff we love to see. Here we have Fabrizio Romano reporting on Enzo Maresca. I'm told that Maresca is having a very good impact on these players, on the tactical point of view, and also the results of that have clearly been good. But most important part is the feeling he created with the players. They're all very happy with Maresca, how direct and clear he is. Listen, it's early days, but I don't doubt that if we like what we hear in the press conferences, how he speaks and how he presents himself, I have no doubt that he has that same charisma when it comes to talking to the players on the pitch. And listen, we see how the players react to his tactics, react to his talks, and how they show it on the pitch. And listen, I think in terms of, I'll be honest with you, in terms of like a managerial pick or a head coach pick for this season, I was expecting just to see it on the pitch. I wasn't expecting much in terms of like presentation in press conferences and presentation on tactics. But I am now seeing that when it came to the selection of this, essentially what I'm trying to get at is that I can see why when they were in the hiring process, when this man presented his ideas and presented himself to the board, I can see why they were allured to go to this guy versus other people like a McKenna or who else were we linked to? I mean, Amarin was linked to us. I don't think we ever interviewed him though. But
Tuchel.
We continue on, but like we see like the guy knows how to speak, and he has a charisma about him that is nice to see. It's like a little cherry on top. But Ahmed, obviously this is good. This is good news. This is good to hear. I mean, do you have anything you'd like to add? Reassurance or whatnot?
Nothing much. If you're good for him, I want to see more results, please. Let's continue.
Of course.
I don't really care about vibes and stuff, The reality is, boys, at the end of the day, bro, this is like the minimum. I've always said this is minimum expected, bro. Minimum expected.
No, 100%. Obviously, the results, the expectations at Chelsea, the standards at Chelsea are still Chelsea level, right? We want to be competing with the league. We want to be in Champions League. We want to be competing for Champions League. We want to be winning trophies. And Maresca is heading in that direction. But who's to say that Sunday we take the wrong turn and we start going back down? So I'm still holding my breath. I do believe in the manager. I am happy with the results that I've seen. I'm happy with the football that I'm seeing. I'm happy with the recruitment that I'm seeing. But it's still early days. Let's see the whole picture when we're done with the season. Let's see what happens after this face-to-face that we have with Liverpool on Sunday. And then, I won't be back here. I'll be on vacation, but I'm sure Ahmed on his channel and every other YouTube channel will be here to discuss it as well. So let's go ahead on to the next.
You know what I like to call that, boys? Bitch behavior right there, man. Bitch behavior right there.
Sure, you can say that when I'm surrounded by other people of bitch behavior, preferably of the right gender.
Sorry. You're the middle for that. Listen, man, Marshall's gonna be giving out his happies, man. Totally ladies, big up, man. I'm always losing. I'm just losing, man. Every time I win, I just lose.
All right.
Loyalty nation, man. Big up to my little sweetheart, as always.
We go to the next topic, which is Chelsea pulling some levers. What are we talking about? So, oh shit, I closed the wrong thing. All right, hold on. I got it.
You see that, boys? You see that, boys, man? That's what I'm talking about, boys, man. That's what I'm talking about. He's gonna be putting in the wrong hole soon. If you know what I mean.
Jesus Christ. Let's hope that doesn't happen. So yeah, apparently, according to Footy Insider, Chelsea have received £190 million injection from their owners in the form of new share issue. So they bought shares of the club, £190 million worth, is what I'm understanding of this. Is that suspicious? Probably. It usually is. I'll be honest with you, it usually is. Whenever an American company puts money into, buys their own shares of the company, that's usually they're up to something. So I'm just saying.
Oh, listen, I just want it to be known that.
Vader,
I just want it to be known.
We might be right there with the 115 charges with you, bro.
I just want it to be known that from people that listen, that's not going to Victor Osimhen. Let's just get that clear. I think the 190 million probably just means, probably stuff that they need to get done, whether it be infrastructure-wise, stuff that they're just doing in general.
It could be. Yeah.
I don't think it's to do with transfers. Like 190 million, that means it has to be transfer money. No. There's a lot of other stuff that goes into a football club that costs a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's... I don't know. Like, I feel like it's very odd for the ownership to... That's like me. I start the company.
They've probably done that already before, but they've done that before probably.
Maybe. I don't remember. It sounds familiar, but I don't remember. But that's like me buying, like I start my own company, Knight Rider, and then whatever, I decide I'm going to pay 190 millions of shares of Knight Rider, and then when the company does successful, I can resell those shares for double the profit. Just seems suspicious. It just seems suspicious. I don't know if a company should be buying their own shares. That's meant for like the public domain to be able to buy the shares of that company, and that's democracy in America, and I don't know. But like, I don't know. It just seems suspicious to me. It could very much be exactly what you're saying, right? Like, it's an indirect way of injecting funds into the club that could be used towards infrastructure. Who knows? We are in the midst of talking about stadium stuff. No news has come from it, but I know that was one of the last speaking points that was mentioned when the Civil War was happening, the last international break. So something might come out of that. It could be towards sponsorship. It could be towards a lot of things. I really don't know. So it is something that we'll see. We'll see what time, but it is keep an eye out in case 115 charges part 2 comes out, and it's the Chelsea saga.
I think Vic is also correct in like what I was saying. Like, obviously, you don't have a front of jersey sponsor already. Obviously, no UCL.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, of course, this is money does not have to be just transfer related. It has to be could be to the money that they need to also spend.
Yeah, and obviously, like, the club don't want to do that. Clear Lake don't want to do that. They want money to come out of the club, not into the club. But most people understand that in order to gain money in this market, you need to put money into it. So that's how investments work, people. But yeah, that's just simple stuff to go over. Let's get to something a little bit more entertaining. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the stream, as I like to say, let's go ahead and get into this next story I have for you guys, which is
Can I ask a question, if you don't mind? Why meat and potatoes? Why not meat, why not like curry and rice? Why not? Well, let's get into the lasagna of things. Why not just the pasta and the pasta? Why don't we get into the pasta of stuff? Why don't we get to the fries of stuff?
When I say meat and potatoes, what kind of meat do you think I'm talking about?
I'm just asking you, mate, because you were saying the meat and potatoes.
Like, what kind of meat do you think I'm talking about?
Now, I don't know. Could be steak. Could be
exactly. You said it first. The first thing you said was steak. And listen, like, steak and potatoes is pretty banging.
Could be chicken and potatoes. That's another banging.
It could be. Yeah, steak and potatoes is good.
Could be lobster, because that's a type of meat. Go fish meat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Bit of prawn and potatoes. You know what I mean? A bit of cod and potatoes. You know what I mean? Fish and chips.
I feel like potatoes, fries, like, you have your meat, your chicken, and your carbs. So like, you got protein and carbs, meat and potatoes.
But also like
proteins and carbs are quintessential to life.
Some might say meat and potatoes could mean a certain body part and potatoes. So if that's your thing, Marshall, let me know, man. You know what I mean? Maybe just want that white sauce in the potatoes.
What do you mean?
What's the white sauce on this potatoes?
I don't know if that's halal, bro. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if that's halal.
You got a Marshall. What's that white sauce in his potatoes? Hey, big up to you, bro, man.
Yeah, the less I speak, the less I speak.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Let's go and talk about this, though. The new emblem. Maybe it's a new emblem. Let's read about it, because I really haven't even looked into this. Let's go ahead and see what this is about. Kieran Gill reporting here that Chelsea have trademarked a new emblem ahead of the 120th anniversary, with its designers describing how it is intended to symbolize their status of London's true club. And obviously, as you guys can see, it's the blue lion, LDN underneath it, obviously the acronym for London. London is blue. The Blue Lions of London. I like this logo. I don't know for what. It's probably going to be like an anniversary kit that it's going to be for. If it is like the logo going forward, they're having a fucking laugh, and they're having a laugh at the expense of Arsenal fans and Tottenham fans. And you know what? They can hold that. But like, regardless, like, I like this. This is cool. Like, yeah, exactly. That wait, which one is that? Is that the Did you get the replica one, or did you get the official one?
Do I look broke to you?
No, I'm just saying, like, listen.
This is the real one.
Hey, wait, hold on, Ahmed. Let's not pretend that oh, nice, you got Jadon Sancho. Let's not pretend that these kids.
This is what they were actually. This is actually the kid they were. I actually got this far.
Yeah, let's not pretend that those kids are not overpriced. They are overpriced.
You know what, man? I would never complain about overpriced here when I have to pay over like something like 100 quid here for the NBA jerseys, bro. Fuck off, man.
That is also overpriced. Both of those are overpriced. They're overpriced. However, they are nice. The match kits, the dry fit kits, those are very nice. Especially in that one because the logo itself isn't embroidered. It's like he stamped on. This is
obviously my younger brothers,
and he's got the pink colors on it too. Obviously,
yeah. Great. This is my younger brothers, of course, but like obviously I've only got obviously the home one, but that's like the regular home one, right? That's not the one which is like dry fit essentially. Like, yeah. But I might get that one soon. You never know, man. I might get that soon.
Pasta and wine is a good combo. I mean, he's not wrong. Damn, Curry Pirate enjoying the fine delicacies of life out here. This crazy. But let's get back on topic. Ahmed, what do you think of this logo? I mean, obviously, ahead of the 120th anniversary, I feel like this is just going to be something that's going to be on the 120th anniversary kit. Kind of like we had during the Lampard season, we had that 100 kit. I'm trying to remember. Like it was like 100 across the chest, and it was just the bars down the line. I forgot what that kit was supposed to represent. You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I get what you're saying, mate. I wanted to say this quickly though, if you don't mind. This has been being used for quite a while now, by the way. It's been used at least, if I'm not mistaken, for the last 2 years, and not like a year, last year essentially. They've been using this one a lot. If you actually
mean the top part of it, not the bottom, the London.
No,
part, right?
I think the ODN parts. Maybe the ODN parts not been used, if I'm not mistaken. But I know the top part. They've been using actively for sure for the last 2 seasons. They've been throwing it everywhere. They've been showing it everywhere in general. If that makes sense, right? So they've been doing this for quite a while now. So the fact they're trademarking it for me, I've said this before. This is probably going to be our third kit on the back for our third kits.
Oh, that's fair.
I think that's what's gonna happen. By the way, mate, I don't think in the short term they're gonna change the badge, because I think if they change the badge,
that'd be too much.
It's gonna be the blocks are gonna get too hot, right? So they're probably gonna be like, let's wait another 5 to 6, 7 years, and then we'll probably change the badge, if that makes sense. But they're gonna at least have this. I feel like they're gonna slowly build this one in. Like it's gonna be the third kit essentially, then it's gonna be the centenary kit, and then they're gonna bring it in, right? So essentially, that's what I think is gonna happen. Now, I think we've got a big problem here on YouTube now, because if I say Chelsea, I'm gonna get copyright strike now.
Why would you get copyright strike if you say Chelsea?
Because they're trying to copyright claim the word Chelsea. You didn't know?
I don't know. I didn't know about this. Big up RSM.
Yeah, on the same Twitter thing you just read, it said they are also what's it called? Taking the.
See that.
They're trying to copyright
Chelsea, proper Chelsea.
And not proper Chelsea. Just Chelsea and the Chelsea. You can still say proper Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea and the Chelsea, bro.
Chelsea and the Chelsea.
That's what I'm saying to you. So therefore, like, does that mean now I have to say Chelsea for everything now, or Chelsea? You know what I mean? Not Chelsea. You know what I mean?
You can still say the word. You just can't sell or create any.
I don't know, man. You know what I mean?
You can still say the word.
You know how much money Clear Lake have to put into YouTube and Google's algorithm in order to have the algorithm pick up on Chelsea whenever there's a stream?
No, bro. There's no
way.
No. The infrastructure is already there.
It is.
That's how they notice music is in a video.
Yeah, that's how they.
But that doesn't matter. You can still say the word. You just can't sell anything with Chelsea.
I don't know, Jeff, man.
Oh my god.
Listen, we might be in trouble, big man.
Why is he calling you Jeff?
I don't know, Jeff, man. You know what I mean? We might be in trouble. It's a meme.
Huh?
It's a meme. It's like a football meme, Marshall. Again,
they're gonna.
so
That's so funny. Yo, that's funny though. They're gonna spam copyright against minerals is hilarious, bro.
Bro, Lewis is in trouble. I don't say Chelsea.
Yeah,
I only
ever
ever
say
say
Chelsea.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But like, I usually see the word in full usually, so that's not an issue for me. But like guys like Lewis, you know, I don't like, yeah,
Yes,
Chelsea, you know what I mean? That sort of
long.
thing. Yeah, hey, that you in trouble, big man. You know what I mean? Hey.
Also,
Yeah.
on the thing about the new emblem, I find it really funny because that new emblem is literally the same thing as an emblem they already have. They just added London at the bottom of it. I know because I've used like the cutout of the lion.
Yeah,
I've used it before in different designs. They just added London on the bottom of it. Yeah, it's exactly that one. Like I've
pretty
used it
much.
before, but they just added it
Hey,
to the,
literally,
the
by the
London
way,
to the
they
bottom,
just
bro.
use that symbol. They didn't use that symbol even the numbers. If you look at the numbers,
Yeah.
that's
it's
true.
always even the regular ones, like the regular.
They just want to add
It's-
London to the bottom of it.
Which obviously that's
And
taking a mick,
I
which is
think that's
great.
I
love
actually
it.
think, by the way, I'm surprised no one has thought about what they're doing in like if you're Arsenal Spurs, like the LDN part, because like that's actually like kind of smart, like because you're just trying to make London just about you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
You're
it's
cutting
great.
You're cutting out Arsenal.
I love it.
You're cutting out Spurs, West Ham, Brentford, QPR, Fulham. You know who else is in there that I'm not?
Bro, they can hold that.
They
can hold that.
No, but like the point, no, they can hold it. But I'm just saying that it's actually kind of smart.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
care about all that.
No, I get it though.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
we're the best team in London. Come on, it's like, you know, let's not
That's so.
beat around the bush. But I will say, Ahmed brings up a good point. Obviously, if that is going to be the logo going forward, it's going to be integrated very slowly, because if this
think the
ownership
LDN
do anything right now, you know they're gonna
Marshall,
like
it won't
lose
be
it.
the LDN that will be the logo, by the way. It'll just be the line itself. Because the line
Yeah,
itself,
yeah.
even if you go to the stadium, by the way, it's not a Chelsea badge anymore, bro. It's literally just the line itself. So
Yeah.
they are slowly, obviously, pushing it in, if that makes sense. I've said this before
I've
to
made-
you, bro.
Wait, do
Yeah.
I have? Do I still have the background? Because I think I used it for. I do. See, look. They already have that line. It's this one.
Yeah. That's everywhere.
Nice.
Literally, that's everywhere. Literally,
It's
it's already on the
literally
third
everywhere.
kit.
It's literally
I said this
everywhere.
before, probably in the next, well, in the first 5 years of their reign, probably until like, I think 2030, that'll be the kit badge. I'm telling you right now, my prediction, that'll be the new kit badge.
I agree with that, by the way. I agree with that 100%. Because not only because of what you said, but because a lot of clubs, not only in football, but even like here in America, they've more and more they're trending towards more minimalistic, simplistic logo design.
Yeah.
Like the days of having a massive emblem are like falling to the wayside. I think even Arsenal and some of their kits is just like it's just the can.
Just the can, yeah, just the can itself.
So
Yeah.
I think it's like a design trend that if Chelsea's like slowly implementing it, yeah, it's gonna happen to everybody at some point.
Yeah. 100%. I can see that.
Yep.
All right, let's go on to
Second.
what did you want to say? What did you want? You don't want, what if we let's go into the curry and rice of things in today's stream. And let's start talking about Tuchel. Tuchel is back. Let's freaking go. Ladies and gents, you already know. Hide. Because Tuchel is going to come find you. But let's go ahead.
Tuchel gonna come find
and-
me. Listen,
yeah.
man, the take I actually have for Tuchel is positive, by the way. So hey,
Okay, don't make me. Okay, ladies and gents, you can go back to any stream Ahmed was in at the end. Go to the very last minute where I was closing out the stream, and you tell me how many times Ahmed said Tuchel out in different language, in different languages. Okay, so then tell me about the positivity you had for Tuchel. But let's get into this because you're shameless, bro. Obviously, we're gonna have a level analysis on this, but Thomas Tuchel is a New England senior men's head coach and will be assisted by an internationally known coach, Anthony Barry, which I'm pretty sure Anthony Barry was the not assistant coach, but he was a set piece coach when he was at Chelsea, right? Mm-hmm. So the UK is Chelsea. All right, let's get. Oh, I got copyright right there. Sorry, boys.
Not yet. You know what I mean?
Let's keep continue. Thomas Tuchel has confirmed that he has signed an 18-month contract until the 2026 World Cup. I have a good experience with 18 months personally. Unfortunately, I'm working on my long-term game. We said it was important for me to have a frame around it because it's a little bit of a step into the unknown for me. I'm used to working on a daily basis with staff. This will be very different. Obviously, he's never done an international level job, so this is his first one. We continue on. Thomas Tuchel. I have long felt a personal connection to the game in this country, and it has given me some incredible moments, and who can forget this moment right here? And then on top of that, winning the Champions League and so on and so forth. We continue on. Chelsea goalkeeper coach Henrik and Hilario will join England in part-time role as one of Thomas Tuchel's staff. A Chelsea video analyst is also expected to join Tuchel. This is according to Nathan Gissing, which then we find out from Outlaw. Chelsea are yet to receive an approach from either Tuchel or the FA for goalkeeping coach Hilario. There are claims that Tuchel wants Hilario to work part-time in his England staff along with a Chelsea analyst, but the London club has still not been approached on Thursday afternoon, which I'm pretty sure there are managers that do part-time work. I'm pretty sure that's definitely possible. We continue on. And this is where it begins, guys, because obviously, Ahmed, you can explain this better than I can. I think I pretty much get the gist of it.
Why me?
The UK
is it because I'm English, mate?
Because you live in the country, yes. Because
you know, you know what, man? You're a fraud, Marshall, man. I hope you know that.
No, I am the truth. I am the truth. What you see here is what you get, and so I am telling you, yes, because you're English, you're going to explain it. So, yeah, England seems to have a very obvious bias against Thomas Tuchel, and maybe it's because he's German. That's the thing. We're gonna have a discussion on this. Maybe it's because he's German. Maybe it's because he's Tuchel. Maybe because he came from Chelsea. I don't know. We will discuss this. But here you have it. Front page of the Mail. A dark day for England. Oh, Jesus fucking
You didn't
Christ.
realize the Daily Mail is like. Listen, there's like two papers here that are like the worst papers to read.
I'm aware. I'm very well aware.
And the Sun and the Daily Mail.
I'm really well aware. I'm really well aware.
Super on the right, bro.
I'm really well aware. But obviously, people, they're still in business for a reason. People still read it, and people still believe everything they say. We have our version of that in the U.S. It's called Fox, and then there's also CNN. So, like, MSNBC is another one, too. Like,
this is a paper, bro. But this is a paper.
I was about to say, like, in the UK it's a bit different because it's a paper, so like
this is like the New York Post. It's equivalent of the New York Post.
It is. That's
sure.
See, I'm in knows. I was about to say, like, it's more newspaper focused, so it would be more New York Post, bro. How do you know that?
Well, it doesn't.
Listen, man. You see, listen, I want you to know something, chat. Yeah, I'm the Bridge Nation. My knowledge is ever expanded. I mean, let me just show you. See this bookcase. See, look, the knowledge is there. The knowledge is always there.
All I'm hearing, honestly, all I'm hearing is Ahmed is an avid reader of the New York Post, bro. That's all.
Bro, the bookshelf that he showed you is all manga, right? That's all Japanese culture, right? You're versed in Japanese culture. We can give you that.
Whoa!
Calma.
Where's the anime? Where's the anime? Huh? Is the anime? Where's the anime?
I said manga. Didn't I say
Where's
manga?
Where's the manga? Where's the manga?
I'm pretty sure all has manga. That may be a Lord of the Rings book there, but other than that, that's not culture. That's mythology, bro. Come on now. Or fantasy, not mythology. We continue on because it doesn't end at the Mail. Obviously, it also goes and trends across English figureheads and Sky Sports. So we have here.
Wow, it's funny how this
Harry
is the only
Redknapp.
Sky Sports video that's available in my country. Love to see it.
Every
time I try to watch a fucking highlight, it's like, oh, not available in your country.
That is
but
true.
That
is
okay,
true.
Thank you.
I did find a few, so I don't know. You gotta work on the search engine game right there, RSM. It might be that, bro.
No. There are certain things that, like, from Sky Sports, like match day highlights and stuff, they don't let us watch.
It's annoying. It is annoying. But he said here, I wanted an Englishman to manage England. All right, cool, whatever. I think wasn't he the last one that had any success with England?
Yeah, so he won a Carabao. I think he won a Carabao Cup with Tottenham against Chelsea, remember 1-0.
Yeah, wait.
Wait.
He won the league in 06, didn't he?
No, he's never won the Premier League, bro. He won the League Cup. which is Carabao Cup right now.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's just fucking.
I mean, for
12
Tottenham,
years-
it is a lot. Tottenham's a lot, but
Yeah, for Tottenham. Yeah, that was 18 years ago, ladies and gents. So yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's the
I was
best
learning how to
England have
walk
to offer,
18
which is
years ago, dog.
ridiculous.
I was learning how to walk
Crazy.
18 years ago, bro. Like,
Ridiculous.
no, because Ahmed's like, you remember? I'm like, dog, I don't. Like, he's like, I really don't.
Danny Mill is also saying here they need to answer why not an Englishman. We have more comments here, of course. Jamie Carragher always has to put himself out there. It doesn't feel right to me that we don't have that we have a foreign coach. That we have here Sam Wallace reporting without wishing to sound impolite to Thomas Tuchel, who has only accepted a job offer from the FA. But once again, the English manager should be English. Nationality is the whole point of international football. And you guys want to see something that I thought was hilarious?
What's up?
Twitter corrected him.
Oh,
So Twitter came out with the facts and said
God,
here,
bro.
2 days ago, Sam said the FA hiring Pep Guardiola would be ambitious project for governing body since
hit
the
by
rebuilding
Keane,
of
though.
Wembley.
nasty word, bro.
It's crazy. He then corrects himself, but doesn't really save himself at all. Man got ratioed already. Lots here who obviously haven't read the Pep piece, which, bro, you work in journalism. You know people don't read past the title, okay? People don't usually read. It's very few. So you should know this already. It's often that way I made it clear in that. So I have done in the past that I was opposed to the idea of non-English manager for England, but acknowledged that a Guardiola appointment would likely drown that out. Yeah, of course. So whatever, bro.
Fraud. So you're a fraud. You're a fraud.
Yeah, you're a fraud. You're a
You're a
fraud.
fraud.
You pretty much said like, oh, I mean, I know he's not English, but I would have accepted Pep. But Tuchel is a problem. Okay, we continue on. And then Gary Neville, who pointed out, I think something that is reasonable, but at the same time also a fraud. Gary Neville on Tuchel appointment. I think we're damaging ourselves. I do think there are outstanding English candidates who could have been appointed. Also, we are.
So he's out on himself. Yeah. What has he done there, mate?
Let me just. I love that this is back to back, bro. I do think there are outstanding English candidates who could have been appointed. We are in a rut when it comes to English coaching.
Are you finished yet? Because I don't think there's nothing more after that.
Let me just. I have a few more, so let me just finish this.
Because I feel like if you continue onwards, like it's gonna be just about Tuchel himself. Like I think we should address this one separately before we actually get to the appointment of Tuchel himself.
Okay, let me finish this one then. Let me finish this one. I'll point this one. We are in a rut when it comes to coaching. English coaching has one of the worst reputations in Europe. We don't have a clear identity and have not built a style which is unique to us. We have seen coaches from all around Europe come to the Premier League and input their style in our game, and we've copied them. But in my opinion, we need to build an identity and let English coaches flourish. I thought we'd left that period of appointing foreign coaches behind, he told Sky Sports. And listen, my input on this is that I think there's a lot to it. Obviously, there's not much in terms of English coaches out there that have pedigree or that have even been successful. The ones that you can name that could get the job that were English, you could say Eddie Howe, who is currently in a job at Newcastle, and his claim he doesn't want to leave. Graham Potter, who, let's be honest, let's see how that worked out at Chelsea. Do you think it's going to work out in England where there's more pressure? The whole country has the media is on you and pressing you, and you're now having to take the spot of Gareth Southgate, who got that country into 2 finals. It's a lot of pressure, and we've seen how he falls under pressure. Who else is there?
You know what, Marshall? I don't even think
Sam Dyche.
We don't need to do any of this. I want to
Sam Allardyce. They're not good. They're not good.
Those-
And before you go,
I
Ahmed, another thing to point out too is like, obviously, when you have a league like the Premier League, where you bring so many foreigners into this to enrich the sport, right? Because these guys have, these other talents, the other foreign entities that come into the sport, they bring something to the table that obviously in English sport wasn't there before. And so as a result, it's enriched the sport. And the FA has no problem with bringing foreigners into the Premier League, as no other company or no other federation should for their league. And as a result, it's weeded out the English managers, and the better managers, the Pep Guardiolas, the Artetas, the so on and so forth, the Marescas, the Joses, Carlo Ancelottis, they've come through the ranks and they've dominated the league. And as a result, everything else has been dumbed down. The FA has not done itself favors to try to enrich the management and the sport when it comes to management within their own league. And a large part of that too, and let's see if maybe I can find a tweet while Ahmed explains himself, and Ahmed, you might be able to even confirm this, is the fact that it's expensive to become a manager and earn your stripes in the FA. You have to go through a lot of payments and all that stuff and a lot of badges to actually earn their certificate to actually be a manager in the FA. I'm going to look into that, but Ahmed, go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
So I actually want to address this thinking on. Let's say they take English managers for the person that's meant to be the manager for the UK has to be English, right? Okay, I'm gonna say, you know what? That's a fair point. I can hear you. Let's actually then, I think for me, let's look at that. Let's look at that argument, right? So when you look at France, right? Obviously Deschamps, other than Deschamps, the only other guy I can think of, like in France, that's there, for example, is other than Deschamps, who's a French manager. No one right now, right? Right now. So like the other guy they've got really is Zidane, and like he's the only one that's kind of become a guy that's won consistently at Real Madrid with the UCLs. Germany is like literally a plethora right now. Spain can make the same argument. There's a couple of guys that are already there. They can come back to right now. And I think the question I always argue is that when you look at English coaching, for example, there's a few issues that we have. A is the amount of money you need to pay. I think it's £14,000, by the way, to get a UEFA A license in the UK. But that's the highest that you need right now to do the uppermost management. And if you look at places like Germany, I think it was around about £500 to like £900 was like the price range I saw for them to get a UEFA A license. That's £13,000 essentially and change more in the UK to become a coach. That's just to put into perspective, right? Secondly, right, there's not really any pathway, in my personal opinion, for a lot of these English coaches, to become good managers. None of them like to leave abroad. There's nothing that's how they pay us to get them to go abroad to learn their trade, to learn their skills. There's nothing. Even if you bring them into League One, League Two, right? I don't know what's going on there, but there's a lack of development going on there, right? And then you look at, and I feel like at times, bro, that lack of development is a big problem because a lot of the time, a lot of these guys, bro, they go from 0 to 100 so fast. They go from 0 to 100 so fast. A good example of that is Steven Gerrard, right? Frank Lampard, right? Lampard did one season at Derby, right? And then he went straight up to us at Chelsea. Now, he did really well at us in the first season, but you saw what happened, bro. That lack of inexperience did not help him, right? And then the next club he went to was Everton. You saw what happened there. Had a good one season. Then after that, crashed out. Scott Parker, another one that we can talk about. Steven Gerrard, after he's failed at the top level, at basically Aston Villa, he went to Inter for the bag. He said, "Give him a managing." Right, and then you've got Graham Potter, the guy that a lot of people were hyping up, were believing in. Now we can say that the environment at Chelsea isn't great. But the reality of the situation is, boys and girls, right? When he went to the top level, he failed at the top level, right? And so the question becomes, right, what England right now is not producing good managers, right? You're not able to produce good managers. You're not able to do stuff, right? So therefore, Tuchel should basically be a manager right now because you guys are failing to produce managers. You have not won your own league. Like that makes it worse. But the fact that England have not won their own league, is a kind of like an indictment on them as managers. Like that's literally. Do you know how bad that sounds, by the way, guys? Like, the guys in the UK cannot. You know what I mean? There's a lot of I feel like a lot of what's it called? A lot of people don't realize the fact that England cannot even get into thingy, bro. It's crazy. Leave that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like they cannot even win their own league. And like the thing for me is, the FA, if they truly believe in English management and they want English managers to be their manager, okay, you need to be able to produce guys. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You need to produce them. You need to help them in the development. Like the only guys that in the UK right now, yeah, that we can talk about. Like I saw people mention Eddie Howe. The thing is, bro, Eddie Howe, with all due respect to him, he's doing all right in Newcastle, but he's not won them FA Cup or Carabao Cup. He's not won anything there, bro. Right? And then Liam Monsinier, who someone brought up, who's obviously the Strasbourg manager right now, bro. He still needs time to develop his game, bro. He's gonna need a lot more time before we start throwing him into big teams. This is the big thing, right? You know, the lack of development of English management, bro. And that's something, that's inexcusable from the FA themselves. The FA need to have a hard look at themselves, right? And actually think about why we're not doing this and how do we solve it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you nailed it right on the head there. Like if Neville, Carragher, Redknapp, if all you guys want to complain about Tuchel, I think your complaints and your anger and your frustration are misdirected. You have to direct that towards the FA, because look at this right now. English FA's costs, if this is accurate, and I'm sure this is because it kind of lines up with the numbers that you were just saying earlier, right? Around 15,000 pounds. That is insane amounts of money to pay to become a coach. And listen, I understand, you know, there are fees to licensing and to become legitimate coaching. I get that. But very much so, like what I was alluding to earlier, right? With the whole, the poor man's sport, right? The poor man's sport, or working man's sport. Just like in the United States, where a lot of these talents, a lot of them get through because they had the money to pay for the academies and the parents that would support them to get them to, you know, the level where they are. When there are like people who are not as, you know, not as privileged to have that ability, who have plenty of talent but just don't have the funds to make it there. I'm sure there's plenty of English managers that have such versatility, have plenty of, you know, tactical prowess, and are just as nerdy as Thomas Tuchel is when it comes to the tactics of the game, that unfortunately just don't have the means to make it to the very top because they don't have the funds to pay for these licensing costs, which is ridiculous.
You know what's crazy?
That's part of the problem.
You know how much 530 is, by the way? That's roughly £500, by the way, in British pound sterling, yeah? 530 euros. That's big. You can only get a UAPC license of that in British money in the UK, bro.
It's really insane. It's really insane how inaccessible it is, and that's like you're shooting yourself in the foot. You genuinely are.
I think there's like an uncomfortability as well, yeah, which is that what is English football right now in this current era? What is the English way of playing football?
Everton.
No. It's not Everton, because listen, Everton, you know, the vast majority of Everton squad is foreign. Like a lot of these squads in the UK, I think in the Premier League, it's 60% now foreign. It's like the foreign players now are the.
No, it's not the players. We're talking about the play style, right?
Not necessarily, no, because again, Sean Dyche is
Everton. I'm so sorry, bro. Like actual British football, bro.
Because for me, in my personal opinion, what's it called? RSM.
Bro.
Sean Dyche does not, I think, epitomize English football, right? Because I don't think the way he plays is the same way they play in the Championship or in the League One. I'll be honest, bro. If you watch them, actually, bro, they play a lot more developed. Sean Dyche plays the way he does.
Yeah, no, but in the Championship, the styles that they're playing are not British-made styles.
That's the point I'm making, though. The point I'm trying to make to RSM is that I don't think there's even a British style of play anymore. Does that make sense, bro? Like in Spain, because in Spain, there's a way that they play. In France, for whatever you want to believe, there's a style of play. 100%. There's a way these brothers play. In 100%. Italy, you know what the way they're gonna play. You know what I mean? In a lot of these places around the world, you know what's cooking.
Yeah. I remember, like, if you had asked me this question, like, when it was Barclays English Premier League, right? Like 20 years ago, I would have told you, like, yeah, Premier League, like, they like to have their fullbacks attacking and, like, crossing it into the box. Like, it was a lot of, like, stuff like that. A lot of crossing into the box. You know, hoofball, and a lot of, like, you know, maybe shots outside the box, like power shots and all that stuff, like the Lampard stuff. And you look at Spain, and it was like a lot of tiki-taka, more like fast-paced. And even right now in Serie A, to this day in Serie A, it's still this way. Like where there, you know what? You're allowed to, like, we're not gonna press you as much. You're gonna do your dribbling, and you're gonna do your, like, you know, make the game beautiful. But you know, at the end of the day, it's defending. It's got to be one-on-one defending. Like, you know, there's style of plays that still remain.
Marshall, can you bring up the Ike comment, by the way? Can you bring up Ike's comment, please, if you don't mind? It's the one about the people who admit it. But like again, like this is something that I actually think that that English football needs to be doing a bit more, right? In the sense that, and they're doing it right now, actually. Like obviously, you know, Cruyff brought total football to Barcelona. That obviously spread all over Spain, and you see like the way they play now is very similar to that style of play, essentially, right? If that makes sense. Yeah. Yep. So, but like, the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, Pep has done that technically, because if you look at the way they play Championship, like the way they play out the back, Pep has kind of done that for us right now. But the issues become, that it's still not the way that the average English manager might not play, if that makes sense. Yeah. Right. And so, for me. And so for me, you know, I know we have the little banter stuff, which is like, all these people with passion, desire, intensity. That's not a style of play, boys. You know what I mean? No. That should be like a minimum expected stuff from any player that plays for you. So it's just like I think the conversation we're having is an uncomfortable conversation in terms of like the where we are in the UK. In terms of English football specifically. But
but this is the thing, like you say where you guys are in the UK, I genuinely don't believe that the majority of people feel this way about Tuchel. Like I genuinely think, and I think this is like a generational problem.
Yeah, I'm removing Tuchel. I'm talking about us England in terms of the style of play they have now, the managerial issue. I'm just talking about it's an uncomfortable.
I get what you're saying.
We're not talking about Tuchel in this section.
I get what you're saying, but I do want to bring it back to Tuchel, because we do have to talk about Tuchel and what we think he's going to do with England, right? But I do, bringing it back to that, I think part of this issue too, right, is I think it's a generational thing as well. Like I just think when you look at the youth, I think part of them also have no interest in becoming coaches, right? Usually the coaching job is something that is as a result of, okay, my career didn't work out the way I wanted to, let's get into coaching. It's never been something that like no. Well, actually, yeah, you know what? I am. You know what? I'm just going to stand on my truth right there. These washed players that want to become fucking coaches after the fact. But no, in all honesty, like I just think it's something that never really garnered much interest from nowadays' youth. But in another sense too, it is something that the older generation have clearly overlooked, clearly didn't care about up until it became a problem now. And it's not even a problem now. It's something that like, okay, well, shit, maybe it's something we should look into, because listen, I'll be so honest with you. A lot of the people that have an issue with the assignment of Tuchel, which is where this conversation even stemmed from, right? A lot of the people that had an issue with the assignment of Tuchel are usually the older ones, the older generation that are still sticking to their heels about what happened in World War II, pretending like, you know, oh no, like Tuchel's going to come into this country and he's going to make it a fascist country. Like, are you serious? Like, bro, it's football. Let's calm down, all right? It's football. And that was like 60 years ago. Like, it's no longer that country. Those people are no longer there. Those people that believe in that, yeah, you know, there's small little pools of them in every country, all right? They're even in the UK. Like, you know, they exist, but we don't promote that. So I think it's like, also a generational gap too.
Can you blame them, Marshall? Though, like when you know we're not.
We're not doing this, bro.
What's wrong with this guy, man?
But like when someone
I'm getting cancelled speedrun.
When someone's called Osama Ibn Tuchel, man, you know what I mean? Like, you know, come on, man, you know what I mean? That's you know what I mean? Do you blame them?
They say, yo, I'm gonna say he getting stopped by customs every time, bro.
No, but like, you know, it is like, I think, look, listen, you know, I mean, CST Steve, I think CST's point again, it's just like, again, like this is the thing, like we look how low we have to go to find a manager. Like, this guy's talking about Coventry right now, by the way, was in the Championship. Like, they're asking for Championship managers to be the new head coach of England, right? That's like,
brother,
bro, you're actually putting disrespect on the actual job itself, saying that Championship manager can get you to win a World Cup. And I think,
but that's the insane part. To me, that annoys me, because it's like
I'll finish my point here, Marshall. It's just literally like, look at like the players that you have right now, and then the managers that are available for you. Do you see how bad that is? By the way, guys, like the gap is actually like insane. It's insane,
bro. I almost want them to just do it. Just like stick to the English managers then. If you really
No,
want
dude,
to stick.
like this is the worst possible thing that could have happened as a UK hater.
Yeah.
Like they
Well, I
actually
prefer
got
this in
coach.
United. I'll be putting this out there. I
No,
prefer this a
100%,
lot more than
100%.
United. Yeah. No, I like
100%.
dap up from here. Yeah. No, fuck United.
But
Yeah.
what I will say is, yeah, like this is an actual coach. This is an actual coach who has shown time and time again very good at tournament runs. Number two, very, very willing to adapt and work with the squad that they are given. Like his
100%.
talent ID sucks. Like give him a squad, he'll do good with it. As soon as you start asking him for transfers, that's where it falls apart. But
100%.
I think he's gonna do well with this England squad, and that's scary for everybody else. It is.
Yeah,
'Cause he's gonna.
but-
I'm telling you right now, he's gonna have the balls to be like, this person isn't performing this position. You're holding bench. You're not playing, etc., etc.
But I mean, even before we get to the whole tactical part of this, like for me, like I almost want them to keep an English manager, because it's like, okay, if you really feel this way about having pure English and being pure all this and that, okay, cool, hold that, because that just goes to show me like you don't take the sport as seriously as you claim you do. Maybe you invented the sport, but you obviously aren't trying to win.
Actually,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead, bro.
I
Actually, every time.
You clearly aren't being ambitious with your signings or who you're putting in as a manager. Like it's just, to me, it's so absurd that there's so many people that are so reluctant to want this assignment when he's literally the best thing you can get out there right now. Guardiola is not going to leave his current Man City position. We don't know what's going to happen with Guardiola.
You know what,
But
man? He might be gone. He might be gone, bro.
He might be. He might
He might be gone, but he's not going to the
yeah.
FA. That's for sure.
But that's the thing. I don't think he's gonna go to the FA. But on top of it too, like, okay, that doesn't take away the fact that he's not English either. Jurgen Klopp, like, do you guys think it would have been an issue if Jurgen Klopp was the one that was assigned this job?
No, Carragher would have been hawk
I think
all over that.
you know what? No.
Now,
You know
bro.
what it is? I actually do think, I think Klopp maybe, but not. I don't know about thinking though. Pep, there's no way they would never complain about Pep though. I'm telling you right now, they're not complaining about Pep, but maybe.
So
No,
you
if
think
it
it's
was
a German
hold
thing?
up. If it was
the German
Pep,
thing, it might be the German thing. I actually think it's pretty fine.
maybe.
So
Yeah.
I think
It's
maybe
like-
Klopp, Clippity Klopp, if he was him, probably. Tuchel,
This
of
is-
course, has seen it, but like I don't know about Pep. Pep, the way they were glazing Pep in these papers, bro. Hey,
But this,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But this is another thing too, like that I don't know if Marshall's is tapped in, but with South American ball, like almost every
I knew you were
team
gonna
has
go
like
there.
has like an like every team has an Argentinian manager, because Argentinian managers are solid.
Yeah.
They're really good. They understand
yeah.
South American ball, and especially for countries that have lesser leagues, like Peru, like Uruguay, like
Why was
Ecuador.
Peru hey, yo, man, come on. Well, why was Peru the first one you named, bro? Like, come on, bro, yo, chill.
Because historically the Peruvian league actually used to be decent, and it fell apart in the past like 3 decades.
Yeah, you know.
But that's besides the point. That's besides the point.
There's xenophobic cunts, man.
My
you know what I
point,
mean?
my point being, like,
Catching strays out here.
even now, the issues that we're seeing with the Brazilian team is they tried this whole mantra of the Brazilian manager after Brazilian manager, but they can't. Like the Brazil is no longer producing good managers, and everybody else in South America is like, okay, we have to recognize where we are, where our leagues are, and recognize that coaches that we need for an international level are not coming out of our leagues. So we're going to go to the best place that is coming out with the best managers. So everybody's getting managers from Argentina. But like, I don't understand why the UK, like, I get it. Like, they have such an overinflated sense of like, we have the best players in the world, they have the best league in the world. It doesn't mean you're gonna get the best coaches out of your league, because very clearly that's not the case. And especially as the game has evolved to be more and more multicultural, and different leagues are taking from different aspects of other leagues here and there, like, you just have to evolve. You can't be stuck in that mindset of like, the only thing we can do is win and fail with our own. At a certain point, you have to accept there's going to be weak spots. And even other countries now, like, there are countries, more and more people are being born with dual nationalities. More and more people are making decisions to play for this team and to play for that team. Like, we're going to have to start doing away with the idea that you have to be perfectly born in the country. You have to understand everything. Like,
100%. I
slowly
mean,
start coming apart.
look at the players that play for the UK. They're not fully. The majority of them are not fully English. So if they're gonna be really sticking with that idea, then it's like, okay, well then look at your players as well. And before Ahmed goes, like, you know, really stemming off of what RSM said, like, I've experienced this with my national team, where like for years and years and years they decided to go with Peruvian coaches, maybe because of lack of choice, because of lack of funds, but they went for Peruvian coaches. And
then they finally got an Argentinian manager in Gareca, and he took them to their first World Cup. He took them far in the Copa America.
Like, I never saw any Peruvians complaining about the fact that, oh, he's Argentinian. And mind you, like, a lot of South Americans do not like Argentinian people. That's just a cultural thing that they just don't. So, and I never at one point saw the media. Wait, Prime, let me just finish, please. I never at one point saw the media go against the fact that Gareca was Argentinian. They saw the results. He actually managed to get Peru into their first World Cup since the 80s, and like they almost want to build him a mural because of it, like, or a statue. Like, it's just like, even like the South Americans are willing to accept, like, okay, we can't just be pure Peruvian, like, or pure Ecuadorian and pure Colombian. Like, we're gonna need to accept that, like, we just need to, if we really want to win this, if we really want to be a serious football club, we need to hire the manager that can get the job done. Prime, I'm sorry, go ahead and say what you want to say.
So, I was ahead of Prime just quickly. And the point I wanted to make was so there's a point I wanted to come back to, which you guys are talking about, in terms of managers themselves. Like, the English managers themselves, bro, barring two managers that I'm aware of right now, I'm at the top of my head right now, in Rosinier, who's the Strasbourg coach, and then Pa, who went abroad to Sweden to manage for a little bit, none of them have left to do abroad work, bro.
That's also another thing.
Yep.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, you think about the Argentinian guys that are actually leaving their thing to manage outside, right?
And when Gary Neville tried, he fucking failed.
And like, obviously, like, you know, that's another thing, right? That's another problem that we're looking at, where it's like, these guys are not even willing to travel abroad, learn their trade, maybe as an assistant manager, maybe get something like that. Maybe
the CV's lacking. The CV's lacking.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's not even just the CV is lacking. It's just like the experience is lacking. Like, you don't have like.
That's what I mean. Like, experience in multiple different leagues and multiple different styles.
Yeah, like. And it's the thing is, for me, let's say I have a style of play that I like, and I know it's predominant in one league specifically, maybe, for example, like, or two leagues. Why am I not going to that other league abroad for a season, 3 or 4 or 5 seasons, trying to become a assistant manager there? Like, you know, get my coaching experience, but at the same time, I'm getting experience in my actual thing, Why is that not happening?
I agree with that heavily. Just real quick before Prime goes, I agree with that really heavily, because especially for international football, styles makes fights. Style make fights, especially for international football, and the fact that like managers never leave England affects them, because then they don't know how to effectively play against another style or implement another style of play, which in international football is key, bro. It's key. Anyways, go ahead, Prime.
Go ahead, Prime. Talk to me, brother.
Marshall not claiming his American side, crazy.
I'm not American until Poch leaves.
And 2, Marshall said we don't like Argentinians. I wonder why we don't like them. Crazy. But yeah, welcome everyone. England appointed Tuchel. I have a lot to kind of say about this and the whole like.
Try to keep it concise, because we haven't talked about the tactics side of things. We'll get to that in a minute.
Like, Work Prime's coming, man.
Go ahead, Prime. Ignore Ahmed. Go ahead.
My apologies, bro. You can go ahead.
It's cool. I usually bypass the Ahmed before anyway, so it doesn't matter. But my ultimate conclusion with all of this is, like, everyone knows, like, Tuchel, I believe he's the best tactician on the planet. I've been saying this for years. Ultimately, though, I don't think this makes a difference for England. I don't think they'll end up actually winning. I said this with Southgate, that as much as people can talk about Southgate, that he's not good enough, he's a bomb, he was getting England to stages. A lot of these finals and semi-finals that they weren't getting over the line, I was watching these games. Their players were not performing. It wasn't just a tactical issue on Southgate. We've seen with Tuchel at Chelsea, he got us to 2 FA Cup finals. He got us to a Carabao Cup final. Why did we not win them? It wasn't because of Tuchel's tactics. Tuchel didn't get outclassed. It was because certain players couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Why do people automatically think that Tuchel coming to England means that they'll win the World? Is it the Euros coming up or World Cup?
World Cup.
Why do people assume that? So they get to a final against France, and then Kane doesn't turn up, Saka doesn't turn up, Foden doesn't turn up.
So you're saying that
doesn't turn up, Bellingham doesn't turn up.
So you're saying that Tuchel's going to expose that some of these players are frauds in the big
I've
moments?
been saying for years that this England side is not as good as everyone makes out. This is not a golden generation. This England side, as good as it may be, it's not better than France. It's not better than Argentina. It's not better than
Agreed.
other big nations out there. And that's okay. People just need to accept that for what it is. Certain players are just not good enough. For one. Two, England tried to go down this route of, that's why they developed St. George's Park, of like not just developing like better English players, you like to be more technical, also developing better English managers. You guys haven't really done that. You gave all this time and faith for Southgate, which again, I was kind of an advocate for Southgate because I didn't think everything was his fault why I wasn't getting over the line. But now you go past Southgate and you end up giving it to Tuchel. Elite coach in Tuchel, I don't think that's necessarily a problem. But if you're trying to develop quality English managers, but yet the only English managers you've produced are ex-player in Lampard, who is awful, ex-player in Gerrard, who is awful, ex-player in Rooney, who is awful. McKenna is a quality coach, but he is coaching Ipswich. You can't give him a big job. Mm-hmm. I rate Michael Carrick. I think, hot take, I think Michael Carrick is in the same echelon as a Alonso, a Cesc, and Arteta. I think he's one of these like young up-and-coming wonder kid managers. I really believe in Carrick, but you're not going to give him a big job. You're not going to give him a big job. Like, you're not going to give the actual talent. You have Graham Potter, who, fine, didn't do well at Chelsea, but a lot of it wasn't down to his fault. Like, Potter left,
this is true,
and then that squad got gutted. It got ripped in half. That's why we spent $1 billion, because it wasn't good enough. It wasn't, as much as I rate Potter highly, it wasn't all down to his fault. If you're trying to develop these quality English coaches, like, you have to ultimately give them a chance at a big job or at managing England. And England have not done that over like the years. Harry Redknapp, when he was doing well won Portsmouth a trophy, when he was doing well at Spurs, didn't get the England job. You had Sam Allardyce, he got the England job way too late. When he was doing well at Bolton, that Bolton team, Okocha and everything, you didn't give them the England job then when he actually deserved it. You guys talk about progressing and wanting to be the best. That's why I keep saying England are not a big nation. When you look at the nations that have won the World Cup, they've won it with managers from that nation, for one, but two, like, they've had the best players in the world at that time. They've had the best leagues in the world at that time. Like Spain, when they won 3 tournaments on the bounce, they were dominating with Barcelona and Real Madrid at that time. When Germany won the World Cup, dominating with Bayern Munich at that time. France, when they just won France got to a final, they lost, won the World Cup beforehand, and before that got to a final and lost. Like, and French players were dominating, and they still are. Like, with England, though, I keep saying this, like, how many English players individually are in the top 5 or top 10 of players? Bellingham, people praise him. I think he's a fraud. I rate John Stones highly, but the guy's like hugely injury prone. When you look at fullbacks, the best fullbacks that they have is Reece James, who hasn't been able to play for England the past few years. Trent isn't good enough defensively. And you've got Luke Shaw, who's overrated, and Chilwell that can't stay fit. You in midfield, I rate Declan Rice highly, but when he's on the ball, he's a massive liability. And we've seen that in 2 finals now on the bounce.
Yep.
On the big stage, that he cannot chill with Rodri, Tchouameni, Jorginho, who people were saying that he's a fraud, and he can't even play with Jorginho in 2021. When you look at the forward line, I rate Harry Kane, but in big moments for club and country, he's failed to produce. Saka, big key moments for club and country, he's failed to produce. I rate Phil Foden, but outside that Pep system, failed to
Dang,
produce.
bro.
Rashford in big moments failed to produce.
Also with
But yeah,
the
well,
Harry
I'm
with Kane and Rashford, by the way, like their time is up, bro. Like I'm so sorry, like that clock,
exactly.
their time's up, bro. Like for next
So-
World Cup, bro, Harry Kane's age,
Exactly.
Rashford
And-
is not getting any
Yeah.
better, bro. He's at his
No,
peak right now.
I get
And
I
that's
get where
my
Prime
thing,
is
like,
going with this, and like
this isn't me saying this as an England hater. I've been watching England longer than I've watched Ireland internationally. Longer than I've watched Nigeria. I've watched England for as long as I've been watching Chelsea. So this isn't a bias thing. This is just me looking at things factually. Tuchel, I believe, can get you to the next. It's the world. Is it the World Cup, right? Or
Yes.
Euros, whatever it is. I believe Tuchel can actually get you to that final. I believe with Tuchel now being there, you are automatically one of the favorites. That's what Tuchel did to Chelsea. Tuchel won at the Champions League, and he made people believe that with the squad we had, all we needed to do was add in Romelu Lukaku to compete for the title.
yes.
Injury-prone fullbacks with a forward line of Havertz and Mount, and we can compete with Pep Guardiola for a
Timo,
Premier
bro.
League title.
Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
Tuchel will make England fans truly believe that with Harry Maguire at the back and Kane who doesn't turn up in big moments and Declan Rice sitting in central midfield, that they can compete for a tournament with France. That is crazy. They're not going to win it. And what will happen is,
before we get into that, Prime, because I do have to go and talk about other things too. But
no,
like,
I
let me
know.
just
I'm not saying for the whole stream. I'm about to leave. I just want to say because
Well, no, I want you to stay and discuss this with us, but give me a second to rattle off a few things so we can actually have
I
this
know,
discussion.
I
because
have
it's just
to
you
leave.
monologuing real quick.
No,
Just
I
hold
know,
on.
but I genuinely do
Okay,
have to
go.
I just want to say because he's now because not just that he's not English, the fact that he is German,
Yeah.
and unfortunately he's going to get the xenophobia treatment. And you know how the English media love to like build you up just to destroy you,
Of course.
bro. Listen. I pray Tuchel doesn't win a trophy with them. The way they're going to destroy this manager. It was only a few months ago. This guy was a terrorist for Chelsea. He fluked the Champions League win. He's not an elite coach. Now all of a sudden he's the best candidate
Kind of
available.
a lose for
Nah,
Tuchel.
I don't rate this Fugazi. He either has to win or they will destroy him. They will, and that's why I don't want Jose getting the England job. I know they'll destroy Jose. If Wenger had taken it, they would have destroyed him. They'll destroy Pep. This England job is not like no big elite coach really wants it. And the fact that Tuchel went for it, I look at it as kind of a red flag. I'll be so real. Like you could have gotten another better job, but whatever. I'm speaking too long. I'm heading to another. I'm heading to like another stream I have to get to. If I have time, I might come back. But
Wow. He's playing with Casually FC, Marshall.
It's what? Listen, let's not talk about flaking Casually FC when it comes to Prime, okay? Let's not.
Wait,
Yo,
I don't know what I was.
don't throw fucking stones out of a glass house, okay, bro? All right, let's not do this, Ahmed. Don't be like this. Oh,
What?
big up. Who just rated me right now? Oh, big up Saad. Big up Saad for the raid. Actually, hold on. I did this inappropriate. There we go. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been raided. Big up Saad for the raid. If you guys haven't done so already, go ahead and check out Saad.
Marshall, you
Let me
can't play
know.
that noise, bro. That's like
I
traumatic.
have to say,
for
Marshall,
British,
that sort of noise, Marshall. I was talking about love England and Germany and World War II.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a bit.
Oh, damn. Man, I did not read the room. I did not read the room on that one. Sorry. But let me continue
He's like,
on.
he's like Tuchel, England manager.
Let me continue on. So we have here. So big up Saad. If you guys are tuning in from Saad's stream, thank you for the raid. Also be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. So Florian Plattenberg here reporting obviously what Tuchel said in his press conference, and in response to the fact that he is a German and the criticisms he's getting, he did say this: I am sorry that I have a German passport. All these supporters felt my passion for the Premier League and the country. I love to live here. Hopefully I can show them that I am proud to be English manager and that I will do everything to show respect to this country and the job. And then we continue. I have this here, which is his cup competition and his win ratio, and obviously Tommy Tuchel, because we gotta appreciate Tommy Tukes when we can. But going back to now talking about England and what I think Tuchel is gonna do for England. I see and I hear a lot of what Prime said, but I genuinely do disagree vehemently that this team is overrated. I'll be honest with you. I don't think we have seen the best of England because of Southgate. I do genuinely.
What got 3,000?
I what? No. I do genuinely feel that Southgate did bottleneck a lot of the progress that this team could do. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that Phil Foden is this bad in international football. Like, let's just be honest. We know what Phil Foden's capable of. We know that Southgate made him look bad. We know what Harry Kane can do. We know that Southgate made him look bad as well. Like, there's just a lot of players out there that I'll be just vehemently wholehearted.
Joe killed me. Look at Joe's comment.
All due respect, I gotta completely disagree with you on this, bro. I'm gonna be so real.
Real quick, before you disagree with me on this,
Joe's comment, bro. Joe's comment.
So, what I think is that I think Thomas Tuchel will show us the level that these English players are actually at. And then I can come to the assessment of saying, like, okay, no, they are overrated or they're not enough. Because I don't think a Thomas Tuchel puts Kane or Saka in a situation where all that pressure is there and they miss the penalties that they missed. And now they get flogged by the country. I don't think Thomas Tuchel does that. I think Thomas Tuchel gives them multiple chances in a game to score. And obviously, when you have multiple chances are one of them is going to go in and one of them is going to give you the game. So I genuinely feel that we're going to see. Obviously, France, sure, are formidable, but let's be honest. Last Euros, we saw France. They weren't that great either. They were very much set up like Southgate. So I think. I think we're going to see a similar setup, but we're going to see more attacking prowess out of it. But what I do believe Tuchel's going to do is set them up in a way that we are going to see the best out of these players, and he is going to be adaptable, and he is going to change his tactics, because throughout his career, that's all he's ever done. He's changed his tactics and system from team to team to get the best out of whatever team he was in, at least what he thought would be the best out of the team that he was in. We saw him do it with Neymar in PSG when he went to the 4-2-2-2. We saw him do it at Borussia Dortmund when he set it up with the 4-2-3-1, I think it was. We saw him do it at Chelsea when he set us up with a back three and he made Rudiger and Christensen look good and resurrected their career. So, like, I think he's going to do something similar with the England squad. But, I mean, RSM, I know you disagree with this, so go ahead and tell me why you disagree.
Well, I disagree with this. I think the second part of what you just said, like, I kind of agree with. I think he's going to give them the structure to be able to perform better overall as a team, because I think the way that Southgate set them up was able to get them through finals defensively. I think they were more of a solid team. I think the issue today, or I think the issue on the day for a lot of the Southgate teams was that he didn't have any real plan for them going forward, to the point where he was just kind of like, I'm gonna hope individual brilliance gives me the goals that we need to win the game, because I think defensively they weren't in shambles. But the thing I disagree with you with is, like, for somebody like Kane or somebody like Foden, and I think this happens with a lot of players, and I would even include Vinny in that list, is that you get exposed as a system player in international football. International football is the great revealer,
Sure.
bro, because if you can't cut it in international football, then you just aren't that player. You aren't that player, and that's my whole point. Like, when you look at great players for their national teams, a lot of them aren't necessarily playing the exact same style as they are for their club. Managers can't implement a system in international football. You have to look at your players and you have to find the best style of play, but that's it. There's not really any system for you to back up on. You have to be way more quick thinking, way more on the fly, way faster to adapt. You can't rely on hours and hours and hours of practice on the training field, practicing the system, or just years and years of practicing or of being in matches with the same team. Because international teams don't work like that. You see each other a couple times a year and then take a year break in between. So when you look at somebody like Vinny, he sucks for Brazil. Why? Because he's used to the exact runs that people make in Madrid. It's such a well-oiled machine, and he excels in his role in that. But when he's asked to do the individualities that Neymar has for the Brazil team, he flops. When you ask him to do the individualities that he does for the Man City team, he can't. Why? Because in the City team, everything in that City team is set up for him to get the half meter of space that he needs to cut in and take those shots outside of the box, that he's better than anybody else at the Prem right now in this moment. But he can't do that in the England team because nobody's making those runs. Nobody's making those tiny little movements, those little micro adjustments for him to find that space issue. With Harry Kane in the modern game, and especially in international football, because you don't have a team set up around you, you do need a 9. You need a 9 to score your goals. You need somebody in the box. You need that threat. And Kane, because of his age, he's starting to come down to receive the ball more deeper. You can't do that anymore. You have to adapt your game. In the same way that Messi had to adapt his game to be able to achieve anything with Argentina. Because at the end of the day, Messi's like, all right, let me play this Barcelona style in Argentina, but the rest of his team is not the Barcelona level. So guess what? He finally decided, I'm going to try to play a different role. I'm going to try to adapt to the team. He came back and they've won 3 major trophies in a row. And for me, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that Tuchel's gonna be good in the sense that, like, he's going to see players like Foden, like Kane, and he's gonna see them for the liabilities that they are in international football. He's a tournament manager, so he will be making those decisions, because you don't get an entire league to make mistakes but still somehow end up on the table, or you get to make mistakes and still end up winning the league. In tournament football, you get at a certain point, you get one game and that's it. You're done. And he's not going to be able to continue playing these mistakes. And that's, in my opinion, that's what I'm saying. Like, you think that he's going to give a better shot to Foden? I think Foden has already proven he played every single game in the Euros, and he couldn't perform. He didn't have one moment of brilliance. Like, something people could say, for example, like Bellingham. I don't think that he's that. I think he's a bit overrated. But he performs for the team. I can't take him out of that team. Saka also had his moments in the tournament, but Foden had literally nothing. There was nothing from him, and that's my biggest issue. And with Kane, he, again, like I said, in international football, you need the 9. He's more of a liability in this day and age. His version right now, then he is an asset. But that's where I disagree with you.
Like, I get where you're coming from. I think you posed like really, really good points. The only, like, there's a few things that I kind of refute, and I kind of just like, okay, I'm gonna put devil's advocate out there. I think, and big up Chic TV.
Hey, big up Chic.
Patterns of Play TV, bro. What I want to say is, like, let's look at Kane, for example. Kane went from Spurs, and then he went to Bayern, and even though they're different systems, he had different managers that work different systems, Kane still managed to make it work. Now, the answer for England doesn't necessarily have to be Kane, because let's be honest, like, you have Ivan Toney that's behind him, you have Ollie Watkins that's behind him, like, you have like decent strikers that, unfortunately for them, I should say, because Kane has always been so dominant in the sport, and despite what team he's always gone, and like, he's always been the top goal scorer in his team, like, even in the bad Bayern season, like, he still was top goal scorer for Bayern, despite Leverkusen doing what they did, right? So, like, yeah. I think Kane, regardless of where you put him, like, I don't think he's a system player. Like, Foden, you can make the argument for, sure. But, like, we've seen Kane go from Tottenham to Bayern, and, like, I know Tottenham and Bayern are totally different systems, totally different styles of play, totally different leagues, and he still flourished at Bayern. So, like, that goes to show that I think Kane is capable of doing what you're saying Messi did, right? Which is adapting and changing his game depending on what Tuchel needs. So there's that one thing, right? The other thing is too, like, and listen, we're all Chelsea fans here. We remember that first game Tuchel had, where he came in overnight, and we already saw a different system, and we drew to Wolves the very next day. Like, we went from being in the shit, Lampard got sacked, and to the very next day, like, Tuchel ball already instilled, and it took like 2 training sessions. So, like, the thing is, like, Tommy is not gonna. Wow, the fact I just called him Tommy is crazy. Thomas Tuchel, I think. I don't know what it is, but I think the way he communicates with the players, he's really good at making them understand what their roles are and adapting his tactics. Because the thing is, like, he's not going to have just one system. He's going to have different ways of playing. Like, you guys remember, like, obviously, we're Chelsea fans. We remember how we almost won it back at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid. 3-2, the Modric wonder goal, right? Like the wonder pass to Rodrigo.
You know how when I bring up, road to 40 points, you say I don't want to remember that. I don't want to remember that.
What I'm trying to say though, let me lay my point. What I'm trying to say is that like in that game, Tuchel almost did the impossible. And I'm right. We almost made history that night, and everyone thought we weren't going to. And unfortunately, you just don't have the class players. We ran out of legs. But like the fact that Tuchel was able to set up, Chelsea in the way that he did, and make it work for that specific tournament, that just shows how much of a geek he is when it comes to the tacticals and how adaptable and malleable he can be. He almost did it with Bayern, and then Neuer just.
He's gonna do good.
But even then, RSM, like when they're in the World Cup, right? They're with each other the whole time. They're training and they're training session every day. They're with each other the whole time. They have more time than they did during the international breaks. I feel like a few international breaks, like he's gonna have. Because when's the World Cup? World Cup is in 2026, right?
Yeah, 2026 summer.
So he's gonna have like what? 4 international breaks. That's 8 games. The ones he doesn't start until January. He's gonna have 2 for this year or next year, and then another 4 on top of it. He's gonna have a good amount of games. I think he's gonna be able to instill a style.
It's time for Marshall to stop being a throat goat. Marshall's been a good throat goat.
Ahmed, you just
Hey,
He's
yo!
like, Ahmed, I want my chance to talk. I'm Mohamed Abdi.
That's
Go ahead,
crazy.
You know what I mean? In the UK, man, they call it Uckers Brothers, man. It's Uckers Brothers. It's like Uckers Brothers, bro. But like, no, like we need to be a bit realistic in regards to just how much can he do, right? Because I think for me, I don't think he has enough games to implement any like different play style. In my personal opinion, now I think Marshall's argument that what he did at Chelsea, with what he did at Chelsea, I think that's a fair enough point. But I think the problem you're gonna have is that I just feel that there's some players who are just system players. Like Foden, I think, right, is one of them. Mm-hmm. I actually think, Kane is another one. And I know that's going to be, and I think the reality situation,
even though he went from Tottenham
and
Bayern.
Like the problem, bro, do you know what they catered to him at Bayern? Tuchel literally said, "You the boss." Like that's why Musiala's gameplay wasn't flourishing as much last season under Tuchel, by the way, right? So for me, the point becomes, in my personal opinion, that you gotta either tell Kane you are not the guy that you're gonna be doing everything around. You're gonna stay in there, or you need to start getting in Watkins in or someone.
I like Watkins as a fair shout,
right? So whomever it may be at strike force. Now, I think for me, the thing that we are not talking about, which I think is the man management from Tuchel, in my personal opinion. God, and listen, Marshall, you can keep saying that, bro. But I feel like, towards the end of what happened at Chelsea, and obviously what's happened to him at Bayern, that is something that needs to be spoken about, bro. Like whether we want to admit or not, bro. Don't think about Southgate that worked so well for him. Whether he wanted to admit or not, and give him credit where it's due, bro. His man management style, bro, works with the team. The players love them. You know what I mean? The players are willing to run for him and everything like that. Now, I think for me, like obviously
at Bayern, it was not the same case though.
I think my issue is gonna be, obviously it's international football. It's gonna be maybe a bit more, what's it called? It's gonna be a bit more easy. I think maybe because he spends less time with them, maybe it's gonna mean that it's gonna be maybe the idea. But at the same time, when you're in a tournament football, you've been to for 3-4 weeks, and the pressure's a bit more higher now. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to win a Euros or World Cup. Does that not maybe speed up the process that occurs at? If that makes sense, Marshall. So I think that's something we need to look at in the day. I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think for me, Prime made a point about this being a red flag for Tuchel, and I kind of get it because another guy that's obviously now he's looking good now with what is on with Germany. Nagelsmann chose German football because of the fact that couldn't find a job elsewhere. No one else wanted him. Chelsea. No, we decided to not go for him. We went for Part at the time. There's been so many guys that we've gone for that were not obviously the guys that we were thinking we were gonna get. So, I think for me, Tuchel, will he win us anything? I don't think so. I just think England's cursed as it is, and I just think for me, I think Tuchel, bro. I think in the key moments, bro, Like if he doesn't have the guys that can execute his tactics, he's cooked. And I don't think we've got the guys. I don't think we've got enough guys to execute the tactics that he needs to win games.
Really?
That's the thing. Like,
yes.
Really, I'm surprised. I still think like
because I think for me, Tuchel's biggest problem is going to be that midfield, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. Tuchel's going to be the biggest problem is going to be that midfield. Genuinely.
I don't know. I disagree, bro. He got runners in there.
It's not about whether or not he has runners or not. I think the balance is going to be the issue in the midfield. I don't think he's going to be able to get the right balance in the team.
But I think so. Wait. I don't know. I feel like you have the players to have a balanced midfield. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm just trying to see where you think like it's imbalanced, bro. You have a good 10. And you could have a good double pivot with the players you have.
I just think if he wants to play 4-3-3, I think he probably would play. You probably don't want Rice to be a part of the diamond. I don't know if he's gonna have to play Water consistently, Rice, and then the question is gonna become: are you gonna play Bellingham false 9, or is it gonna be Jude as a box-to-box 8?
Yeah, Jude box-to-box 8. Palmer in the 10.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Marshall,
Rice.
I think he's setting himself up to fail. I'll be honest, Marshall. I think he's gonna set himself up to fail.
It could because I think because you haven't even heard me say this. I think England are strong contenders to win the World Cup. I don't know if I can with chest say they're gonna win the World Cup.
No,
because let's be honest, like Argentina is still a very formidable side, right? And they've been very convincing with the way they play. I think with Thomas Tuchel, he now, you know, obviously the chances for England to win any type of silverware or gold medal in the World Cup, it does go up now. He is a good manager, and especially when it comes to cup competition, I showed you, like Pep is the only one that's as good as him in cup competition when it comes to win percentages. Like he does have a bold task ahead of him. I do think. And before I even go on to this point, like just to point out the whole man management thing, like, listen, I think, yes, the man management maybe was an issue in the past with Bayern, with Chelsea. I find it hard to believe with Bayern because at the end of the day, these players were still playing for him in Champions League. And if it wasn't for Neuer's mistake, then we have a different discussion. If it wasn't for Neuer's mistake, then we could still be talking about Bayern potentially going to the finals. And if we're talking about the man management at Chelsea, yes, there were some decisions that were made at Chelsea that weren't great, but who did he fall out with? Ziyech, who we didn't care about the club. Pulisic, who was getting injured constantly. He fell out with, who else did he fall out with? Malang Sarr, who are we talking about? Like he fell out with nobodies that we ended up selling anyways. So again, like no. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous because prior to Chelsea, where was the whole man management issue?
Why are you putting me in the middle of this, Ahmed?
Was there any man management issues at PSG? Was there any man management issues at Dortmund? Was there any man management issues at Mainz? Like, why is it always all of a sudden? And why are we pretending that if there's a man management issue, why are we pretending that, like, listen, if you let me land, then you can actually have your discussion, but you're not trying to let me land? I'm just going to keep talking because I'm the host of the show, and I'm going to be respectful, and I'm not going to mute you, but I'm going to keep talking. So when it comes to also fucking the man management side of things, like, bro, if you don't like a player, you don't call him up. Wow. Like, are we pretending that Southgate didn't fall out with Grealish? Are we pretending that Southgate didn't fall out with Calvin Phillips? Are we pretending that Southgate didn't fall out with players too? Like, come on now. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, if you don't like a player, then you just don't call him up. That's it. He's not a problem. That's it. You're not part of the national team. Stay at home. That's it. What problem is it going to cause to the dressing room? You bring people to the dressing room that are going to agree with your way of playing. They're going to agree with your tactics. And then when we go into the tactics, when we go into the tournament, I think we're thinking about like how he's going to play and all that stuff. I genuinely feel that it's going to change game from game to game. Like there are going to be some games where we see Palmer as a 10. And we're going to be some games where we're going to need Jude Bellingham as a 10. Even Conor Gallagher. I think Conor Gallagher has a straight shot to get called up into the England team now because of Thomas Tuchel. I think so. Chilwell, depending if he wants to use fullbacks or not, or wingbacks or not, Chilwell might even have a shout as well. But that guy needs to get playing time somehow or some way. But I mean, go ahead.
Chilwell, and if he calls him Chilwell, bro, that's one of the best things he could do for us, because that'll be another thing we can put on his resume for when we try to sell him.
Ben White was the other one that Southgate fell out with. Go ahead.
Let me come in here, yeah. Do you know?
Hey, yo.
You know, I want to destroy this argument that Marshall continues had because me and him have had this argument before, yeah. I said to Marshall, brother, the reason why they were playing so well in the Champions League final was because they already knew that he left the club, A, and B, they knew that they had to make a performance for whoever the new upcoming manager was at the time, which turned out to be obviously Vincent Kompany, and C, yeah, they were also in the semi-final. Any player that's in the semi-final,
imagine twerking for Vincent Kompany.
Any manager that is in the semi-final, any player that's in the semi-final, yeah, particularly use the semi-final, but they just want to step away. Of course, they're gonna play their hearts out to be able to make sure to win the competition that they've been trying to win since they've been a kid. Like, I don't understand where this argument has come from, Marshall. Like, again, this is why I disagree with you so much with the argument. And also at the time, Marshall, they didn't know it was Vincent Kompany that was going to be the manager. So they were still just fighting.
You said it, not me.
No, I'm making the point because it's obviously turned out to be Vincent Kompany, right? And I think, you know, Marshall, the point you make about mind management, okay, you can just say, don't come. There's still going to be players here that there's going to be times where the players that he might want to say stay at home, he can't say stay at home because they're probably the best in that position. Yeah, what happens here if a Cole Palmer didn't fall out, for example? What happens if a Saka didn't fall out? What happens here if he falls out those type of guys? The guys that are basically meant to be dead on starters.
Now, see, no, the thing is, hold up. I understood where you were coming from, but as soon as you started throwing that, like, what if? Yeah, like, bro, what if a meteor
No. I'm talking
that's
about
such a crazy hypothetical to say, though. Like, based off of what?
RSM, the point I'm trying to make though is that because obviously he made the point that obviously if he doesn't want a player or players over and him are having like a bad thing, right? He can remove them, right? So I'm saying so I said, okay, by that logic, okay, let's say he does that, but what happens if that's the best player in that position?
No, but my thing, okay, but then my argument would be this. My argument would be this: is that player actually? Did they actually do enough to be warranted to not be called up anymore? Because that happened with me. That happened with Ecuador. We had a player who was really excellent, but guess what? Every time after games, he was getting up to foolishness, and he was forcing other members of the team to get up to foolishness. Guess what? He never got called up again. So my thing is like, if a player actually, if he falls out with a player for a valid reason, then I'm gonna be like, okay, bro, it was a valid reason, even if that is the best player in that position. At a certain point, it doesn't matter if you're messing up the rest of the team through a bad attitude or whatever else it is. But if we're gonna say, for example, in your hypothetical, that it's kind of like Tuchel's own personal vendetta, then yeah, he's in the wrong for that, bro. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, if it's personal vendetta,
I would just so I get what you're saying, RSM. I would just make an obviously a slight counter argument to that, but I just think for me, at the end of the day, right? Yeah. Again,
you're talking about Plata, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the point I'm just trying to make at the end of the day, boys and girls, is just that listen, it's a big thing, right? It's a big thing, you know, with Tuchel, his management issues. Even at Chelsea, you know, bro, the reality was, bro, the guys that he fell out with were with him after the summer. You know what I mean? So they were still able to control the stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
Listen.
So and again, that's just the reality, Marshall. So until you're willing to accept that, brother, that's on you, bro.
Bro, until you're willing to accept that the man management thing was overplayed, then we're
really,
always
I was
going to
about
be
to say,
here.
you guys aren't going to agree on this, bro.
The thing is,
we're not.
Marshall, yeah, I'm going to ask you a question. If it's so overplayed, bro, how come Tuchel's not been able to find a job after this?
He rejected United.
He did.
He deadass rejected United.
The reason why I'm not going to include United, and I'll give you United, but I'm not going to include United, is because they're obviously cooked barbecue chicken, right? I'm saying, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
United's still finding a way to catch strays, bro.
Yo, honestly, you know what?
That's one thing
I'd
we can
rather
agree
be.
on.
He said I'd rather be out of a job than Manchester United.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Hold
that, United.
You know what I mean? Anyone else you had that needed a job?
Hold on, he cooked with that one, bro. He cooked with that one.
Yeah.
He cooked with that one.
Listen, who would have who knows what we would have found anyways after United? But like you tell me, why is it after Bayern since it went so?
He keeps failing and getting hired. It's insanity to me. Like, he failed at Tottenham. Like, he won Tottenham nothing. Went to PSG.
Ahmed.
Failed at PSG, came to Chelsea. Failed at Chelsea, now he's in the U.S. men's national team. head coach.
Ahmed, wait. Did
That
you
brother
see that
keeps
USA
failing up.
Mexico game? Did you see that USA Mexico game, bro?
Why would he watch that? Why would you stay up to watch that? Like,
Big up Poch, man. Big up Poch, man. He's a
Did
real
you
one,
see
man.
the USA Mexico game?
What happened? What did I miss?
Okay, you don't need to watch it. It's okay. Don't waste
I'm
your time,
not
bro.
bro,
Don't
man, by the
waste
way,
your time.
I haven't, obviously, I haven't watched the game, but
It's okay. It's okay.
I saw like the stream with you and TJ Warren, TJ and a lot. Like
Bro,
you guys were really
I'm
happy, bro.
stressed.
You looked happy, bro.
No, that's that. We were not happy, bro. We were not happy.
No,
at
and I
all.
love how in the press conferences he's already gaslighting people into thinking like, yeah, we're gonna compete. Man, get the fuck out of here! You can't say that. Like
Yeah.
it was already a bit too much when he was like, yeah, we're Chelsea, we need to compete for the Prem this season. I was like, what is this brother talking about? But that's like going to like Bolivia, being head coach of Bolivia, and say, yeah, we're gonna win the World Cup. What are you talking about?
No, you know what, though, guys? I will stand by my argument that I think Poch will probably get you guys to a quarterfinal or like a semi-final in the World Cup.
He won't.
And the reason why I will
Players
still-
are highly overrated, and he's an awful
Okay,
coach.
I take it back. Watch the USA Mexico game. Watch the friendly.
You know why I say that? The reason why I say that is just because, again, unironically, he is a good example of just how far management can take you. You know what I mean? In my personal opinion. So, what's the space? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Haram. You know that's
want
too.
this.
Listen,
That was be a
that's like
bad one.
watching. That's like watching Paul versus Sam. Jesus Christ, mate. You know what I mean? Both bad.
Bro, that's like watching Bayern versus Norwich. Tommy T versus Pochettino. That's what that's gonna look like, bro.
I'm gonna say that that's the hamstring special, bro. Like,
No. What
they're
was
gonna
that?
be flying off the bone.
What's the South Park thing? A douche versus a piece of shit. That's what it's gonna be, bro. You know what I mean?
No. Tuchel is gonna be a pristine Audi TT coming
Yeah, I
this
can't
World
lie.
Cup
Oh
tournament.
my god, man! You know what is going on here, man? We need to stop glazing too much like this, bro.
The
Too much glazing.
man, you're gonna see. You have no choice now, Ahmed. You are going to see because he is leading your country. He is the leader of your country right now. You will have to address him as Sir Thomastus Tuchelis. Tomstopher Tuchel. You will have to address to him as Lord Thomas Tuchel.
See what I mean? RSM, what I'm saying, he's Ucker's baddest, man. He's a throat goat, man. You know what I'm talking about, yeah? And they got he's the fucking now, bro.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? He's doing like a
man.
boy right now, bro.
I'm coming for that ass.
With tricks on it, bro. It's crazy, bro.
He's doing like Houdini tricks and that shit, bro. You know what I mean?
No, obviously I'm doing too much, but I do really like Tuchel. Obviously, you guys know
Yeah,
that, but
sometimes, bro.
time will tell. Obviously, I listen. At the end of the day, I want to see what he does with the UK with the talent. Like, I want to see the football. I want to see the tactics. I want to see how he sets it up. Because people who are Chelsea fans, I think he's going to set up as a back three. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to do some different shit. I really do think.
He did a different thing at Munich than he did at Chelsea. I don't know why people think he's gonna like.
If he plays the back five Marshall, mate. If he plays the back five Marshall, yeah. He's
Bro,
too bad.
he might do. Yo, I'll be honest with you, because like people are gonna hate what I'm gonna say. People are gonna hate what I'm gonna say, but like, listen, Southgate was able to manage to get them into 2 finals. Which listen,
Like, what?
you can't. No, hold on. You can't deny that Southgate was able to like set them up to get them to 2 finals. I think Tuchel's gonna take that and expand on it.
Yep.
Or maybe not. I don't know. I could be wrong completely, but like I think we're gonna see something else.
Stages, Marshall, yeah, I'm here. Just to let you know.
He ain't gonna. Yo, come on. If
If you
you,
get the group stages, Mr. DVDX,
that's gonna be crazy.
Hey.
That's gonna be crazy. I'll be here for that, but also I can't listen. I don't know if my country is gonna even make it to the World Cup. So
Man, welcome to
No. You know, wait, Peru?
yeah, Peru.
Brother, you're not making it. Give it up, dog. Like, what?
That was crazy.
I'm sorry, bro. Like,
Please tell you to let it go, big man.
Bro, we got clapped by Brazil 2 nights ago. It was so
Peru,
bad.
Peru and Chile are eliminated 100%. Those are two countries that will not be at the World Cup.
We caused one upset. We caused the upset to Uruguay, but I was like, oh, maybe there's some hope, and then clapped immediately.
Was your first win of the entire qualifiers?
Yeah.
It's still cooked. It's
Might have even been our first goal, to be honest, bro.
You have to choose a third country, bro, because the U.S. is gonna be washed. Like, by the way, I have to say
UK, I'm all UK in it.
Oh, that's true.
Toast over bread over toast, bro. I'm in there, in it.
No, but real talk, like if US actually had to qualifiers to qualify for the World Cup, I'm not sure they would win. I'm be real with you, bro.
No, I'd be worried for the US
type thing, bro.
Yeah, Ahmed, do yourself a favor. Don't watch any USA games, because after watching that Mexico game,
man, you
yikes.
know what's back, boys? Real Hoops is back next week. This week coming. You know what I mean?
Are we talking about? By the way, are we talking about the Liverpool game or no?
is back next week.
We could talk about the Liverpool game in a few. But I do want to take this next moment to tell everyone, if you are watching, smash that like button. It is appreciated. Be sure to subscribe as well to all the channels on here, not just my own. But if you are new here, subscribe. We do streams like this every week, except for next week because I'm going to be on vacation. But that being said,
you know what, Marshall's going to be getting a lot of STDs, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly, 100%. My dick is going to be in so many different holes, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, yo.
Hey, listen.
What?
Listen, you know,
What?
Marshall's gonna be receiving, not giving. You know what I mean? Marshall's gonna be receiving, not giving. Hey.
Oh my days, bro.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I never said this was a PG channel. I'm just saying.
You know what Marshall's nickname is, boys? Wide receiver. If you know, you know.
Wide receiver.
Bro.
I'm the QB out here, bro. What are you talking about? All right, let's QB our way into this next segment, which is another one. I think this is Ahmed's wheelhouse, because you can talk to us more about this guy than I can. But listen, we got to put some respect on his name, because this guy turned out to be a pretty decent player, despite the amount of hatred and amount of whining and dining that these players did. Bro, this is actually impressive. Listen, I don't care what team it is. The fact that you can score 4 goals is impressive, all right? Like, most people struggle to get a hat trick, let alone 4 goals in a match. So we got some stats here to show you guys that Samu Revisionism managed to get 4 goals against Malta in the U21s. Hey, look, this is impressive stuff. This guy managed to dunk on United as well, with Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans in that team, who are their best center back pairing, by the way. Funny enough. But yeah, bro, talk to me about Samu, Ahmed, because you've been tracking this man. Pause.
Wait, is that his face, by the way?
That is his face.
What do you mean that's his face? What?
Yeah, what do you mean?
I've noticed something. It's the something I've noticed, but I'm gonna keep it pushing, man. If you know,
this is a bit. No, this has to be.
no.
What do you mean by that, bro?
I noticed, bro. There's something I've noticed, but like, listen, only my black brothers can understand what I'm gonna talk about. That's all I'm saying. I want to advise people to what to look at his. No. Just look at his face last year, then look at his face this year, and there's gonna be something you're gonna notice. But I'm gonna keep it pushing. Believe me, when you notice what I've noticed, you're gonna keep.
Bro, I don't remember his face from last year, bro. Like,
he looks exactly how I remember him.
No. Let's type in his face when he was playing for Valets, or I think it was an Alves, whatever it's called.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair enough. Ahmed, talk to me about Samu, my friend.
No, that's already. He said it already. No, don't be up there. Don't be up there. That's really what he said. That's what what. I need it so much, you know.
You think so?
No, hold on.
That's
Wait,
crazy.
Wait, hold up. No, hold up. Wait. This is actually kind of crazy, bro. Look at last year. Hold up. That's actually a bit crazy, though. That's actually a bit crazy, though.
Oh, damn.
I need it so quickly, bro.
Maybe it's a saturation. I don't know.
Well, yeah, maybe it's a picture.
Maybe it's a picture. Maybe it's a picture. That is kind of crazy.
I didn't even deep it.
Bro, when I watched,
I thought he was talking about something else. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We'll talk about that backstage.
Bro, when I watched Man United, bro, yeah, I noticed something. I was like, he doesn't look like I remember him. And then, like, he's gonna confound it for me. No, listen, that's crazy. But listen, you know, obviously, I'm already on, man. Again, you know, one thing we spoke about so much on this channel, on my channel, the British Nation, RSMTV as well, is that we need another striker, right? We need another striker. Jackson, another archetype, all right? A guy
Different
that's,
profile. Yep.
yeah, so someone else that could have maybe a bit more of a stronger shot, good with his head in the air. You know what I mean? Is able to get that height that's required for it to happen. A guy that can really bully the centre backs more so than what Jackson can do to a better level, right? And like the reality of the situation is obviously is that Samu right now at Porto, he's cooking there. He's seen what he's doing in the Europa League too. Been playing really well there too. And like he's doing really well, and obviously the under 21s or whatever you want to call it too. So clearly he's a talented fella that we've kind of like essentially missed out on for João Felix, right? So like the reality of the situation. But listen, I love João Felix, so listen, I don't care if I lost to João Felix at the end of the day because I still believe my scouting department can get me someone else like him, like if they're that good. So I think for me personally,
They almost did. But everybody cried when we were linked with Duran. So there you go.
And again, another one, man. There's a lot of bitches, man. A lot of bitches.
You're not wrong. But Ahmed, can you? I got you. Hold up. I got you.
Listen, Saad, we didn't get you redirected, you forward, man. You need to start redirecting, bro.
Yeah, we did. We got your redirect. Thank you, Saad. I appreciate it.
No, we didn't, bro. We didn't, man. We didn't.
But Ahmed, can you tell me? Because, like, listen, people who are watching the Premier League can see what Duran can do. He's got good shot power. He's really good. He's really aware of where the goal is. So he's got that sharpness, really good finishing, good shot power. What does Samu Revisionism bring to the table that is helping him in his career right now?
Again, I told you, I think his body has been a big help for him, bro. His body, his height, I think his physicality actually helped him out a lot.
Oh, okay.
You know, something
kind of what like Osimhen would have brought to the table if he would have come.
I think something that's very similar to. I would almost argue, like I think he's better than this player when he was younger, but Lukaku, like the thing that really helped Lukaku when he was younger is his physicality, right? It's the fact that he's a bit taller, had that bit of burst of pace of him as well that other players could not handle. I think of Omaridion, it's a bit of that, but I think the difference is Omaridion is clearly, if you've watched him play, bro, he's tactically sound. Technically sound, he's technically sound, can hold up the ball really well, is good with his feet. Yeah, he's much better by the way than Osimhen. In my personal opinion, the way he's able to hold up play.
Wow.
And it's beautiful.
Wow.
And it's ball to
Okay.
feel
I'm about to hop back on, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Listen, he ain't got that Timberland boots. You know what I mean? That if you know, you know, man. You know what I mean? By the way, did you see that Lukaku clip? By the way, I didn't even want to give it attention. It's hilarious. It was killing me.
Clip?
It was on a podcast. Yeah, it was on a podcast. This famous Netherlands podcast. Yeah, and he was talking about what people think of him. And like one of the things that the guy said, yeah, in the background. One of the guys said in the background, yeah, Timberland. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I was cracking my head up, bro.
The Tims, bro. Just some guy in the background said, he literally said Timberlands out loud. The mic even caught it. It was so funny, bro.
It's crazy, bro. You know, but listen, I just think in general, bro, it's like, listen, listen, we've lost out on him, but I trust my scouts, bro. The way they've been identifying strikers and how they've been cooking, they'll get another guy in for me. That's going to be just as good.
But Ahmed, you can tell me, like, because I think when we were first linked to him, people were watching it. I think you even said this, and I think all of us did. He didn't look too convincing. What changed really? Like, was he always this player, or are we just seeing it now?
I think he was this player, but I just think remember last year was his debut year, right? Much like Jackson, kind of went through that period where he wasn't scoring, right? He was just doing well, holding the ball up, making really well, moving the ball forward. But you had that goal drop period, remember, in the second half of the season where he didn't score that much. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that's just the way it is, bro. And I think for me, again, if you looked at a lot of the people who were scouted at the time, they were giving him big props. When I watched him, by the way, I was thinking I didn't really notice him on the pitch that much. Like I wasn't noticing. Like I think he had good link-up play. He was good technically on the ball and stuff. That's what I always used to say about him. But like I didn't really notice him that much. But like clearly this season, maybe Paul has been a better, better place for him to develop or rise, and it's clearly working out for him.
Fair enough. And listen, good for the kid. I think he has £100 million or €100 million release clause in his contract right now. Yeah,
so it's like
no doubt it's gonna happen.
Then, there is another uncomfortable conversation to be had, by the way.
About
is the Portuguese league cooked? Or you know what I mean? The clown did he just or is it because if that's the case, then Gyökeres, man, scam watch on him. You know what I mean? Scam watch on Gyökeres, bro. You know what I'm saying, chat? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a possibility, but I'm not gonna say it. So. We'll see. But time will tell with that one. But all right, I mean, big up, good for him, and Ahmed will be keeping a close eye on Samu as well. So you'll let us know. You'll give us updates on the kid and how well he's doing over there in Liga Nosh. Let's continue on. We have Graham Potter made some comments on Robert Sanchez, and let's see if we agree. Let's see if we disagree. Let's see what we think. Really, this was done a few, I think 10 days ago. So Graham Potter on Robert Sanchez. He has got the power, the size, the agility, and the speed. He makes the goal look really small. He can just pluck things out of air effortlessly. So his saves against Nottingham Forest didn't surprise me. He is still a young goalkeeper, so he is still working on being consistent, but his high-end stuff is world-class. Wow. It is sometimes about simplifying it with him. The structure Enzo Maresca has put in place will help him. Listen, one thing I'll say about Robert Sanchez is that I do genuinely think he is a goalkeeper, but I'm basing that on the fact that it's what I saw under Graham Potter, not what I saw under, De Zerbi, right? He was a really good goalkeeper, and he did really well when he was with Graham Potter. That ended up getting the best of him. But time will tell. I mean, he's had a pretty decent start to this season. Had a horrible game against Brighton, but outside of that, been all right. But I mean, your guys' thoughts on what Graham Potter said? Do you agree? Do you think it's too much? Do you think he's being a politician?
I think in terms of saves, he's not a bum. I think Sanchez is really good at making certain types of saves, and I think his comments about him being tall, making the goal look small, is very true, bro. Like if you look at the Bournemouth penalty, that bro, when he was like he's doing this to the goal, bro, he looked he could cover a lot. And I mean, there's been certain shots and the penalty that he saved that, like, if he wasn't as tall as he was, he's not getting there. The issue isn't with him, in my personal opinion, with him facing shots. His issue with me is the role that he's being given in this team to pass out the back, and we've seen this so many times already. Like, he cannot make the correct decisions and the correct passes when the pressure is being put on the team. And that's my biggest issue with him. Like, if we need a ball playing keeper, he is not it. If we needed a keeper who's only there to save shots, he's decent, he's good. Yeah, I'm fine with him, but it's just the task that he's.
Come on, boys. Yeah, let's be a bit more. Cutthroat. I think the reality is Sanchez. I think he's an alright goalkeeper. The reality is, again, his height helps him to make the goal smaller. I just think for me the issue with him is that he hasn't got the mental capacity. And I don't mean this in a way. I mean, to be completely focused for 90 minutes and be under pressure at times to be able to push the ball
like
out.
A Ramsdale type.
Exactly, right. And so for me, it becomes a thing of like, can he get you top four? The answer is yes, but can he get you to win a title? No. Simple as that.
He doesn't have composure. He doesn't have composure. That's the biggest thing for me. Like when we are being pressed, when we're playing out of the back, in those moments, that's when you need your keeper to be calm and composed. You need them to make the right decision. And every time he passes, I said this even from last season. Every time it happens, and you guys can keep an eye out for it next time we play. If there is a player, and so in the back three, if both fullbacks are being pressed, and there's a man down the middle running with two people behind them, he passes it to the person in the middle instead of passing it to the fullback. That could at least have the chance to hoof it up, whatever, and get it out of danger. He always tries to make that pass to the middle to a player that's never going to get there in time. And it was even worse in the Brighton game because he tried to do that pass to Caicedo, and Caicedo at least saw that he was going to do that, but the pass was so awful and so under hit that even Caicedo can't anticipate that, hospital passes, exactly, like those hospital passes. That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, like, his shot stopping and everything, it's fine enough to get top four, but his composure in the big moments is what kills us. I mean, we even saw that last year with the Arsenal game. Bro, we should have won that. We should have won that. Like, again, he has too much blood on his hands. The thing is, like, the Brighton game Brighton didn't cost us. In the Bournemouth game, he kept us in it, and fair enough, right? Like, he did that. But in the Brighton game, we're lucky that we got in the standout performance from Palmer that pretty much squashed anything that Brighton could do. But Brighton didn't do anything, and it sucks because, like, that realistically should have been a clean sheet. That should have been a 2-0. Like, there was no goal opportunity created that would have been like, oh, you know what, fair, like they deserve the goal. No, they didn't, bro. They really didn't. Anyways.
No, I agree with you. I think, like, to a certain extent, I have a threshold when it comes to these mistakes. When it comes to the mistakes of passing out the back, and I did say this last season with Poch, like I feel like in a structure, maybe Robert Sanchez can be that ball playing goalkeeper, but at the same time too, like, listen, I understand why the managers do it. Like, I'm getting it more and more in terms of tactic. I'm still not a fan of it, but like this ball playing out the back, I feel like you're setting up any goalkeeper to make a really dumb mistake and really bozo moment at any time. Like, we see it with Ederson. Like, people don't want to talk about it, but Ederson gives freaking Pep Guardiola a heart attack half the time because he fucks around with the ball, and then one day sometimes he finds out, and it's just like, it's really annoying for Pep. And I've seen Alisson Becker make multiple mistakes as well in the past where he passes it and it's the wrong person. Like, it does happen. But for me with Sanchez, like, I feel like he does have his bozo moments. Like, it's there. And I was going to ask you, RSM, or Ahmed, if he's here, like, do you guys think that it's something that in time, because he's 26, and in terms of goalkeeping years, like, yeah, he's still technically young. 26.
No way, he's 26 years old, bro.
Do you think that's he's old, or that's too
old.
young?
I thought he was older than that, bro.
No, he's 26. I just looked it up.
It's the hairline, bro. It's the hairline. It's the hairline.
Yeah, the hairline is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But,
yeah, hairline type.
But like, do you guys think that that's something that he can refine and kind of like, you know, it's never gonna disappear, but he can kind of just like make it better over time? Damn. All right. None of y'all think he could.
No. I'm thinking about it. It's like, I'm thinking, like, in my mind, has a player ever overcome a bozo gene to like never really have a bozo gene again? I'm just like,
Mission Impossible, mate. Mission
I don't
Impossible.
think so, bro. Like, yeah, you made me think about it. Fair enough, but I'm just like, damn, man, like.
I ask a tough question sometimes. Maybe that's why. Like, I get those moments of like, I gotta make it think. Like, I genuinely think. I think this is what I think Robert Sanchez does, right? I think his bozo moments comes from the times when he's confident. Like, when he thinks he's that guy, he thinks he can get away with so much shit. Like, that Brighton moment, I genuinely think in that Brighton moment, that guy was like, yo, I can reach this ball. I'm Robert Sanchez. Are you kidding me? And then he got humbled immediately, bro. Like, it's, oh, damn. I'm not that guy.
That pass to Caicedo was...
Yeah, that was insane, bro. Like, I don't even know, man. But speaking of like goalkeepers, let's talk about one that is for the future that maybe he could be the potential answer. Exactly, you said it, Mike Penders. So Mike Penders came out and well, I don't even know. Let's actually read this. So Fabrizio Romano came here and said, Chelsea are very proud of signing Mike Penders. The feedback they had was that he is really special. In Belgium, they consider him the new Thibaut Courtois, which I've heard multiple times now. It would have been a risk waiting to sign him, with other clubs lurking, including Bayern. You continue on. Chelsea believe they have signed a top goalkeeper for the future in Mike Penders, and they wanted to be fast because Bayern Munich sent their scouts several times to follow him. And this does give me a little bit more reassurance that this guy could be the answer. Mind you, I think our scouting has been pretty good, but I think we do need to see what's going to happen, because at the same time, like, these same scouts recruited Slonina, they recruited Petrovic, and I think there's like maybe one other one there that I'm not mentioning, and now there's this player as well. We do have a few, goalkeepers that are lined up, but I don't know. I mean, has anyone seen Penders play yet? Like, has anyone done some like scouting and just like out of curiosity, like, how good is this guy?
I haven't. Ahmed?
Yeah. Ahmed, have you?
The only scouting I've done is chicken and rice. Thank you.
What?
Huh?
Sure. So
I will say though, I'll trust our scouts. If this is what our scouts are saying,
want the goalkeepers?
That said, like, I'll try. With the younger players, yeah. Like with the young talents, like it's been a lot more hits than misses. That's all I'll say. Like, like, so I'll give them that, because I think, for example, when we bought Jackson, I don't think anybody in their wildest dreams would have told you that like he would have been performing to this level in the second season. And obviously we got Estavao, we got Palmer as well, because we were in, like, no other team was even in for Palmer at all. Like, nobody else wanted Palmer, and that's why Palmer's like, okay, yeah, Chelsea gave me a chance, because nobody else was really looking to buy him, especially for the price that was being asked. So like, I have to, again, like, I think it's one of those situations we just have to wait and see. We have to trust the scouts. We have to trust that they know what we're doing. And again, it's not like we made a $100 million investment on the kid.
That's true.
You just gotta see where it goes. By the way, did you talk about, speaking about scouts, did you talk about that one report that came out that apparently Chelsea are no longer allowing other teams to attend our youth academy games?
Really? I have not heard about that, actually.
See what I mean? See, Marshall, man, casual.
Stop, bro.
Yeah, you're not
no,
wrong.
I saw
FC.
That's why I said casual.
No, like I saw the post apparently like it was because they were a bit like pissed about the way that the Rio situation went down. And so like Rio, the kid who left to Liverpool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So apparently
Rio
like,
Ngumoha.
yeah. I know how to say his last name, so I didn't want to like mess it up. But yeah,
fair enough.
And I'd rather be respectful. You feel me? And so then so then they were like upset about the way that that went down. So like apparently like some other teams scouts like asked like can we attend the game, and like for the first time ever Chelsea's just like nah, like nobody's scouting at our games anymore. Which I saw a couple of people on Twitter were like a bit happy about as well, because they were like at least they don't completely see the academy as like a cash cow. Like they still want to potentially protect some players if they have the ability to come through to the first team, which like again it's just a little pushback on the idea that like they only see the academy as like a place to get money and that's it.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you actually brought that up, because that actually takes me into the next topic, which is the other big one that happened since the last show, which is the directors came out and spoke on a lot of these things. And honestly, I'm glad they did. Obviously, it's convenient, okay? I'm not going to sit here and say, like, look, our directors talk. No, they came out and spoke when it was convenient for them to speak, when things are good and stuff. I would have liked to have seen them, and maybe it's strategic too, because I'm sure, like, listen, we've said it multiple times here. A lot of times with the team, with the club and the ownership and all that, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Maybe it was one of those cases, like, even if they did come out when it was last season and we were doing shit, it would have been really bad regardless. But hey, at least they came out. The timing is convenient. But regardless, I do want to talk about some of the things that they said. And we'll start off with this first one. And honestly, I got to give it to Matt Law. Man's rebuilding his reputation. He got an interview with the directors.
This man said, I got to give it to Matt Law in the year of our Lord 2024.
Who did that?
I did.
I
gotta give kudos.
I said the same, bro. Like I'll be honest, man.
You gotta give him kudos.
Like, no. You know what it is,
I don't like him.
The last 4 to 5 weeks, but this brother's been hella silent. Yeah,
4 to 5 weeks is
You know what I mean? I've been wondering what happened to my Lord, bro. Then like, I just get this interview like 2 days later. It's like, damn.
It was a good interview from him. So I'm like, all right, you know what? He kind of asked the questions that like were there, like the insistent questions. But one of the first ones that was asked, and I don't even know what the question is, but Lauren Stewart came out and commented and said, this is a club that needs to be in Champions League. It's a club that needs to be competing to win trophies consistently, and we want to do that with a certain way of playing football as well. So that absolutely is the ambition, which I like to hear that. Like, obviously they have the same thought processes as the other Chelsea fans. Obviously this is always going to be something a little bit that is curtailing towards you know, what you want to hear, like very much like Pochettino said to us in the beginning. So obviously Chelsea fans want to hear this, so they're going to say something like this, but I'm sure they actually believe it as well. We continue on. Lauren Stewart saying, going back to the plan, we made some really clear decisions on the way of playing, the football style, and the identity we want to have, and I think it's been shown in the coaching hires. Nah, bro. Nah, it has not been shown in the coaching hires. I gotta disagree with that one completely.
That's the one area where you guys were on complete fraud watch.
Yeah, I was like, nah, dog. Like, Pochettino, I could understand why you may have hired Pochettino, but where was the style and identity with him? And also, like, I don't think they were the ones responsible for hiring Graham Potter, so I don't know if I'm gonna really like hound on them for that. But even Graham Potter, like, he wasn't, what style, his style wasn't anywhere near identical to Poch's, and that style wasn't anywhere near identical to what Enzo's doing right now. So I think this is a little bit of cope from recruitment. So nah, y'all are on fraud watch for the coach hires, and I'll be honest, like, this is make or break, I think, for them this season. So time will tell. We'll see. Paul and Stanley came out and said Enzo was somebody we admired and we were keen to bring here. We were really excited by the way he works, aligned with the club and the playing squad, how it's set up to move forwards, and we absolutely see him for the long term. That's definitely how we see it, which is good to hear. I mean, they did give him I think it was a 3-year contract. Oh no, it was 5, a 5-year, right? I don't remember how long Enzo Maresca was signed for.
He's only on a 2-year contract, bro. It's a 2 plus 1.
Yeah,
I thought it was a 5.
No, it was a plus
I'm
1.
not kidding. It's a 5 plus 1. It's a 5 plus 1.
Okay, 5 plus. Damn, 5 plus 1 is crazy.
I knew there's a plus 1 in there somewhere, bro.
Yeah. So,
Don't worry, man.
yeah.
Don't worry. Listen, don't worry. Plus 1. You know, whenever you need the extra inch.
Huh?
It was good with this man, bro.
What do you mean by
It
that?
was good, bro. It was good. Didn't you got a girlfriend or something, bro? What's with all this, bro? You call her up for something, dog? Like,
I can't lie to you, man. Today, you know, it is, man. Today, I'm feeling really relaxed because, like, you know,
Yo.
he's talking about Hawk.
Bruh.
He's talking about this. He's talking about it's like, bro.
He said he's feeling relaxed. Like,
That's what I'm saying, bro.
you know what I mean? I'm feeling really relaxed today, man. Maybe that's why, you know what I mean?
What?
You know what I mean? You know what I
Dog.
mean? I'm what can I say? I'm a very greedy lad, if you know what I mean.
Let's continue on, bro.
Yes,
Let's just unrelax. On Academy player sales, Lauren Stewart.
If I'm not relaxed, that means I'm hard. So what are you saying?
Dude, stop talking. Stop
do you mean by that?
talking. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, we got
Oh my
more
God.
more from the interview,
Late
bro.
night Chelsea streams, bro. It's a late night Chelsea stream.
Yo, this is casually after dark right now is crazy.
Casually after dark, man. Like,
Yo,
Jesus.
that might need to be a
Yo,
series
tell
on
him,
its own.
like, what did I want
That
you?
might actually need to be a series on its own, bro. But we'll think about it. I'll get into the hyperbolic time chamber and brainstorm while I'm away. On Academy player sales. Lauren Stewart says every decision has been performance-based decision, which people have opinions on because that's football, and absolutely with homegrown players, it's always more emotional. Lauren Stewart and Paul and Stanley also said this: there's nothing fans like more than players who are one of our own, and they can sing those songs about those players, and we certainly appreciate that. That's why we continue to invest in the academy and try to make sure the first team and the academy are aligned, so players have the best opportunity to make that step, which I think is really interesting, considering that not too long ago people were saying like there's no route from the academy to the first team, and you have them saying like, listen, we're setting them up now so that there is an opportunity to get into the first team. We're making it more systemic, which I think that's what Pep does. And I think that's what, to a certain extent, Jurgen Klopp did as well, where he set up the academy to have a system that, hey, if I need a player, you already know the system. You can come right into the match and have an impact. So we continue on. Paul and Stanley also said, we had a significant offer from one of our academy products this summer that we absolutely chose not to take. And there's a lot of misconception out there. It's not just about PSR. It's contractual statuses. It's circumstances. And this could be relating to Colwell. It can be related to Akimpong, or no, it was Akimpong, yeah, that just recently got a link to Real Madrid. It could be related to a lot of stuff. So it's nice to see that it's not all about pure profit. It is, about who is going to fit the system, who is going to be useful for the future, and investing into that system and that future. This thing now, it has to be a well-oiled machine. So good to see that. One more thing too, I think on Paul and Stanley, I think this is the last tweet I have on this. Yeah, it is. Paul and Stanley, if long contracts was just for PSR, we'd have stopped doing it. That was never at the forefront of the owners' minds when we spoke to them about how we see it working, how we all see it working as a club. Listen, there's a lot of good stuff here. Obviously, I think when it comes to the long-term contracts, I just saw, what is it for? It's the long-term contracts. If it's not for PSR, then it must be because of player stability, right? And you don't want to deal with the contracts running out like what we have going on at Liverpool. You have Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, as well as Trent Alexander-Arnold potentially leaving on a free. You don't want to have those situations. So you can at least, with the long-term contracts, get a good chunk out of these players before having to have that discussion about they're going to leave, or you can have the discussion of adding, okay, let's add another year to your contract, like with Cole Palmer, you know, like, and having that incentivized structure in there as well, so that like if you do hit an incentive, you can have a discussion about rewriting your contract. So
and also,
it does
by the way,
avoid
like,
those issues.
Another thing as well is like there's a lot of people like, okay, but like if they're on this many year contracts, how are you going to move them on? Two things. Like, if players really thought that this was going to be an issue, they wouldn't be signing these level of this year's contracts. Like, very clearly there's something within the contracts that we don't know of in terms of a release cost, in terms of the player's ability to maybe negotiate a move out of the club if that's what they want. I'm assuming the revised contracts for players like Jackson and Palmer is to change those terms to where, like, okay, you're not going to be able to negotiate. We're going to include like an insane release clause that's a percentage of the years that you have left plus what we believe you're worth with the club, etc., etc., etc. Like, though, yeah, they did a year extension for Jackson and for Palmer, but the reality is that that's also their window to be able to renegotiate the terms of the contract, of how they could leave, of how the payout
100%.
might happen, like about contract termination in the future, etc., etc. Like, the whole thing with Jackson and Palmer, I'm assuming, is when they signed these long contracts, there was like, even though it's that many years, I'm assuming that there's a very favorable way for Chelsea to terminate these long-term contracts without us having to do like a full payout. For Palmer and Jackson, because they perform well, I'm assuming we gave them an extra year plus we took out those terms, so they're like more insecure. They feel like, listen, we back you now 100%. And I agree, you're 100% right, and I think it's like we're going to see more and more clubs, well, they would have if they could have, right, doing these long-term contracts, because it's
a lot of this is money as well, right? Like,
a lot of it is money.
Ability to do it,
right? We put ourselves in a position right now, where if anybody wants to come in for Palmer, they're actually paying like a biblical amount. Like, it's going to break so many transfer records. It's not even funny.
It has to.
Like, it's going to be even more than what PSG paid for Neymar. And now that's not me saying that Palmer's worth more. It's just the fact that how much he has left on his contract.
Exactly. And
that's what people don't understand. Like, we secured our asset, our player. And if anybody, if a point in time comes when we want to let go of him, we're going to get an insane amount of money, and we're going to get our money's worth. So, I back with the directors. Like, I have to say, by the way, like, with this, like, the whole structure stuff, like finding all these loopholes, it's excellent, bro. I love it, bro. There's nothing more American than finding loopholes in the law to save money and make money, bro. Yes, sir. Yeehaw, America. Bro. Yeehaw, America, bro.
No, like, I agree with what you're saying, and like, listen, I what I like about this whole thing is that, like, from the beginning, I always said I'm going to give this time. I'm going to give this at least 3 years to see how it works out, because I always knew, like, listen, like, and you guys on the chat know too, like, obviously I don't think you'd be here if you didn't want to listen to the content and listen to, like, you know, at least my perspective on this, and everyone on the panel's perspective on this, and for the most part, everyone on the panel is pretty reasonable, and brings different perspectives on the topics, and I think all of them are reasonable. But, like, point being is that I think most of us and all of us understood this is a long-term project, and maybe results weren't always going to come immediately. And everyone's patience is different than others. I was going to give it 3 years to see what happens. But my point in saying is that, like, now after 3 years, you can look in hindsight and be like, okay, those moves that you made earlier make more sense. The reason you were getting all these players now makes more sense. The reason you were booting out all these players makes more sense. What you're doing structurally with the youth and with the manager hires that you're doing, like Strasbourg, right? They're hiring a similar manager to what Maresca's doing with the youth hires as well. Like, now it makes more sense because you're trying to set it up. And Ahmed, correct me if I'm wrong, like, Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola are set up similar. The academies are set up similarly in a way that, like, if a player were to, go out with injury, they can go into the academy. They're familiar with the setup and the system, and they can immediately just integrate and be familiar with the first team.
So, listen, I'll tell you one thing, firstly. Listen, I'm on demon hours in the morning, afternoon, and dinner.
Oh my God, bro.
You know what I mean? Listen, man, you know what I mean? You know what they say, man? One time, biggie me. But on a serious note, yeah, so one of the things that happened, I don't know if it happened under Klopp necessarily, but I know for Guardiola, right, whenever he goes to a new place, bro, the youth literally play the same style as him. So they literally play things out of thing from like the under 8s to all the way to like the under 21s, under 23s. So they all do, bro. And that way it allows there to be a natural progression where the player can just plug in to the team because he knows how to play, bro.
Exactly. I mean, Ahmed, what did you make of what the director said? Oh shit, I did the wrong thing. What the director said in their interview.
So I'll address the part about they're using empirical evidence in terms of like data rather than emotions, which I think at the end of the day, bro, you know what I always say? I think the saying is clearer heads prevail, right? Clearer heads prevail. And I think in this aspect, that's probably the best, right? In terms of like what we're trying to do, what we want to do. I think that the idea of having a clearer head is much more better for us as a football team. That way we make correct decisions and not decisions with our hearts. Because at times, if we do decisions with our hearts, that means like some players that we love a lot, we've got to extend their time to an unnecessary requirement. That makes sense. Sure. You always want to make people leave when they're on a high.
I agree with that 100%.
So I think for me, that's probably, I like that idea. So we're gonna have to wait and see if they stick to that school of thought. But of course, that idea, of course, is good. The idea of wanting to stay in the UCL, that of course, again, at Chelsea, that's the minimum expected. You know what I mean? That's the sort of stuff that gives you like a C in like for you guys in the US. You know what I mean? That gives you a C in class. You know what I mean?
You know, speaking on the directors, one thing like I would have wanted Matt Law to ask, and I know probably
only part one of the interview, brother. This is only part one. There's a part 2 that's gonna come out.
I think I want to know like if he asked what's going on with the whole sponsorship thing. Like, how do we still not have a furniture sponsor at all?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think that's gonna be part 2 because I don't know if you guys know this is only part 1 of the interview.
I didn't know it was part 1, but thanks for letting me know.
There were some questions that were bullet pointed that weren't really like. They were supposed to be asked about, for example, the tumultuous period last season, the struggles and what they did, and I didn't find any tweets on that, so I'm assuming that's going to be part 2. Which again, like, good on Matt Law to be able to get that interview.
I want to add a quick point, by the way. Point of correction, give it to our way, Blue Line. Actually, the data was by a company that Blue Lake was, that Blueco was using actually, and they were the ones that wanted Anthony Gordon, not Tuchel. Tuchel did not want Anthony Gordon. It was the club themselves that used data to try to bring Anthony Gordon to the team.
Yeah, fair and fair enough, because like we've seen now with the talent that's coming through and all that like it's looking promising, and whatever they're doing, however they're finding the talent and using the scouts. Listen, there's talent out there to be had, and with the way that we've talked about this, with the way the transfer market's moving and how expensive these signings can get and how ridiculous the inflation cost is, it's like
you got to try to cut corners. Everybody made fun of us, and now Man United are trying to copy us, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Man United's trying to copy.
Everybody's realizing this is where it's at, bro. Football's getting way too expensive to buy players in their prime. Most teams are not Real Madrid aren't going to be able to afford 4 to 6 players in their prime like all the other teams in the past easily could. So what does that mean? You're gonna have to buy it. You're gonna have to start scouting them younger.
And you know what's crazy too is, like, I'm glad you mentioned that too, is that now Chelsea, the Clear Lake kind of already saw what was coming in the horizon with the amount of football that was going to happen. And, you know, there was a lot of criticism, even from me, so like, why are we hiring? Why are we getting so many players? Like, what's the plan for these players? Like, what is going on, and why were we overstocking? Like, it looked like for a while, it looked like we were obsessed with just signing, and to an extent, we still are signing like young prospects and all this stuff. Like, it was crazy and it didn't make any sense. But now that we're back in Conference League and now we're seeing the schedule and how we have the Club World Cup at the end of the year as well, like, now it makes more sense as to like, okay, now you have a B team and an A team and they're working together, and you can see like now players are getting less injured because both teams are essentially playing once a week. All of our players are essentially playing once a week, which is good because there was a time where we had players playing 3 times a week. Like last year, twice a week. You know, obviously there's still going to be players that play twice a week, right? Because like there are going to be injuries. Like, that's inevitable. It's a contact sport. There are going to be injuries. There are going to be muscle strains and so on and so forth. But like, at least now it's a lot more manageable, and it can be, and we can recover from it, and we don't, you know, our season isn't over just because we lost a player. Look at Arsenal. Look at Man City. Like, maybe not the best examples, but Man City without Rodri, everyone's talking about the fact that like, oh shit, their season's done. You know, now if Haaland gets hurt, they don't have a backup striker. Pep would find something out, obviously, because he's Pep, but you know, they don't have a striker. They didn't replace anyone for Julian Alvarez. You look at what's going on at Arsenal.
Isn't Mainu even out now for United? Like Ugarte as well. Like
I don't know if Mainu is out. I think he did play the last game, but I think Ugarte is questionable. But like even then, like if Mainu were to go out for United, like they're kind of screwed too because they don't have another talent to put there that's as good as him. Same thing goes for like Arsenal. I was alluding to them. What happened when Odegaard fell? Bro, they became really defensive. Like people were talking about like they don't look as good as last season. Yeah, because Odegaard's not there to connect the attack. Like, you know, they're suffering from the fact that they don't have Odegaard and they don't have anyone to replace him. They got rid of Smith Rowe. You know, Smith Rowe was the only one that I could think of that was closest to that 10 position, that creative 10. So, like, now you're seeing how we're building a squad for multiple tournaments. And
again,
it's
like,
working.
you know, I feel like, you know, again, Marshall, man, you're doing too many tricks, man. We need to wait and see, man. You need to wait and see.
I'm sorry. I'm used to Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, bro. You just got to do all the tricks and chain them together. You get the high score. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, this is what I do. This is how I am. This is how I am ingrained. That's how my wrinkles in my brain work.
That's why Marshall's going going on holiday, mate. He's trying to be Ucker's demon.
Yeah, I need to.
Ucker's demon, Marshall. You know,
sure.
Man. Ucker's demon. You know me. Ucker's demon. If you know Ucker's demon is, Marshall, you're gonna be laughing like that, but we're gonna keep it pushing.
All right, can you you gotta put it in a private chat so I can look it up later.
Ucker's demon is what I've been calling the whole time beforehand. He's been doing tricks.
Also,
you know what I mean?
The English is thick.
In private chat, I put what I was talking about, by the way, Marshall, in the private chat.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
What I was talking about.
Yeah. Actually, I'm glad you're here, RSM, because I kind of want your opinion on this. The next topic I'm going to bring up.
Yeah.
And I think you already know what it is. But apparently, there's rumors going about that this is going to happen. So apparently, Kendry Paez is no longer going straight to Chelsea, which I'm not opposed to, but let's go ahead and discuss this as well. And I'm going to say the same thing for Estavao, to be honest. I'm going to hold the same energy. So apparently, this is translated from this tweet. According to the Spanish media, Diario AS, Kendry Paez will be loaned to Racing Club Strasbourg before joining London Capital. Already announced on the Alsace side a few months ago, this new rumor concretizes okay, the arrival of the player in France.
It's Spanish, and maybe you can translate fast better than Google Translate.
I don't. This isn't even in Spanish, to be honest. Yeah, it's in French. That's why.
But as far as I know, like this is the only news that has really said that.
Yeah.
Not only that, I think it's been announced months ago. I don't see where that was announced.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of waffle, but I do think like the reality is like one of them will have to go on loan.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to depend on their performances in the Club World Cup. Well, I'll say that. I think actually the Club World Cup, I think Estavao, like Paez is not letting him go for that. But if like Paez puts in a convincing performance in the Club World Cup, like that'll be his one chance to kind of solidify himself to stay in London or not. But it was always obvious that one of them was going to have to go on loan. Like there can't be both of them at the same time, I think, because like they need playing time. And a lot of them are, and both of them need. I don't think either of them are going to get the playtime on the wings necessarily. But I think in the 10 is where they both kind of want to primarily play. So one of them needs to go on loan. So yeah, I think like Strasbourg is like probably the most likely place for one of them to go. But I don't think anything's been confirmed yet, and it hasn't been reported in Ecuador either. Like internally or any leaks or anything like that. So again, like Amin loves to say, like just take it with a grain of salt. Like it might just be like, you know, international break, bit of international break waffle, you know.
100%. But like I mean, going on to your point too, like I honestly wouldn't mind if both of them went on loan. I'll be so straight with you, because like I get it. Like Estavao has been putting out numbers in Palmeiras, and it's been really impressive. And obviously, the league that he's in Palmeiras is a much more formidable league than. Is he playing in the Ecuadorian league? No, right? Like he's playing. Paez is in another league.
He's Paez is playing in the Ecuadorian league, but he's not playing. He's not really like playing anymore in the Ecuadorian league. Because the way that the Ecuadorian league is set up is that there's 2 phases. So whoever wins the first phase qualifies for the Copa Libertadores, which is like the Champions League South America. Whoever wins the second phase of the league qualifies for what is essentially the Sudamericana, which is the Europa League. The Europa League of South America.
All
so most
right,
teams,
thank you, RSM, for telling us all the South American.
most teams play their strongest.
Most teams
play their strongest stream in the first half of the season. So like this right now, basically every team, all like the top teams are playing their B teams. So he's getting playtime here and there, like against the bigger teams, but against the smaller teams, he's not getting any playtime. So yeah, and obviously for Ecuador, like he gets playtime here and there. You're also trying to manage him.
The reason I even say like I would loan both of them, because I know some people like Blue Lion say Estavao starting, is like, listen, it's one thing to be able to do it in the league you're currently in South America. Another thing to be able to come to, 1, Europe, acclimatize, 2, do it in the Premier League as well. Like not trying to bash those leagues, but it's just it's a different level of competition. So for them to be so young, it's like I don't think Chelsea are in a hurry or desperate to get these players to come in and work. Like, also I feel like it takes the pressure away from them. Like to imagine being 18 years old, having this huge prospect on your head and being like, all right, listen, you're going to come at Chelsea at 18 years old. You're going to be in the squad and you're going to do something. Like, I just think it's too much. Like, loan them both out to Rennes. We have Andre Santos, who I know is a completely different position. I know, but like we have youngsters that I think need to be promoted into Chelsea, like Andre Santos, like Leslie Ugochukwu, so on and so forth. Like we're seeing Cassidy now get some playtime then, and he was an early scout that, you know, we loaned him out year 1, year 2, we loaned him out again, brought him back for a little bit at Chelsea. Now it's year 3, and we're seeing him play, and it's like, okay, you're doing something. Like I think taking it step by step, little at a time, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and we can see him. We can see the levels that he's at when he's at Strasbourg. We can see him develop.
But that's why I think that's also why Chelsea wanted both Paez and Estavao to be registered for the Club World Cup. That's why I think there was like a little bit of upset when Palmeiras was like, actually, we want Estavao to play the Club World Cup with us, because they also are going to play there. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if Paez doesn't want to go on loan, bro, that's his best shot. Who knows? We might see again. Palmeiras, Chelsea.
It's true.
Happened before, bro.
That is true. Like they do have like a chance to really prove it. Like, listen, we knew from the moment that we saw Palmer come into Chelsea, his first game at Chelsea, we were like, okay, there's something there.
Yeah, this kid's
yeah, exactly. Like, all right, the aura is there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm a favorite word.
The aura, bro.
My favorite word. No, but you know what it is, boys. Yeah, I don't think they're this reliable with my pass. I don't think they're that reliable. I actually think he's probably gonna come to Chelsea. I think what's gonna happen is that it's probably gonna get embedded in over time. I know for some people, Joe thinks that Madueke needs to leave next season. I think I said this before. Madueke probably got 2 seasons left in the 2 seasons. They've got like maybe 3, right? You're probably gonna get Estavao embedded in over time. Paez embedded in over time. The good thing is right now we've got guys ahead of them that are of higher quality. Like we should let these guys, start learning their trade. Yeah, in the UCL group stages, in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, maybe coming off the bench. That's what we need to be doing, bro. I don't know why people are trying to force these brothers in straight away. That's not the case, bro. I know I know this happened right now with Lamine Yamal, but like the thing with Lamine Yamal is that a lot of people are not
just get
talking about.
No.
The thing about Lamine Yamal, boys, is that guess what's gonna happen to imagine if Lamine Yamal gets injured now, because right now he's being super overplayed, by the way, right now.
He is injured, right? Wait, but he is injured.
Oh, is he? I don't even know about
that. He is injured. But I remember I saw Barca fans freaking out because apparently, like, we don't know how long, but there's a potential that he misses like the UCL game and the Real Madrid derby.
That's the point I'm trying to make. You see what I mean? Like, look, that's the big problem. You don't want to be in a situation where you
Barca did that to Pedri and Gavi too. Pedri and Gavi, both of them.
Gavi, you know what I mean? Those are good examples, of the stuff that I'm talking about, where they've been overplayed way too much.
He suffered a hamstring injury during Spain's National League clash with Denmark.
Danger alert! Alarm me! Unlike me, especially for the young lads. That's a big danger. One second, I'm gonna put my camera off.
I'm spitting.
Honestly, bro. Again, I had this conversation actually yesterday with my good friend Igal, right? Because I was on his channel, and me and him were having this. I was telling him, bro, like, it's all well and good saying, oh, Messi didn't get injured, and all these guys didn't get injured when they were playing in PlayStation Young. But I'm like, the difference is these guys are playing in a different league. When you're playing the EPL consistently, week in, week out, PMP league, bro, that is the most dangerous league, because that is the one that leads to you having the most, body strain, body stress.
Yes.
Literally point blank period, bro.
Because even the training has to be at the level of the Prem.
Bro, it's PMP. It's pace and power, bro. Big thing, bro. That I think a lot of people just like to move away from. It's not a big thing.
Yeah, it's you hate. It's one of those things like you hate to see it with young talent. So I really hope what Ahmed said, what I alluded to, what RSM agreed to as well. I wouldn't mind, just take your time with it. Let's see how you acclimate, and then we can talk about bringing you into Chelsea. There's no need, especially with the team right now. There's no need to rush these players into Chelsea's first team. We're good. Estavao, who plays the right wing, we're okay on the right wing. Despite what you may think in the chat or whoever you are, we have Nani Madueke, who's doing pretty good in the right wing, and then we have what's his face?
Let him know, Marshall, man. Let him know about Madueke in Asia, man.
He's doing a job, bro. He's doing a job.
Yeah, he's doing a job. Yo, you know what I deeped the other day, Ahmed? I was thinking about it because Enzo was saying how much he likes Nani, and I was thinking you know what? I bet you Enzo started loving Nani Madueke when he had that golazo against him in the FA Cup. Y'all remember that goal, right? That goal was sensational goal from Nani.
Yeah.
So that may have been the moment the love triangle started between Nani, Chelsea, and Enzo Maresca. I'm just saying, bro. So, on the topic of the young players too, Estavao actually came out with an interview. I didn't get a chance to really talk about it, so I did want to I did want to mention this in the show and bring it up. So let's actually bring up the first part of this interview that I saw. Thank you to Fabrizio Romano for the tweets here. Let's bring this up. So we have here Estavao. Cole Palmer is spectacular. He told me we're going to do a lot of great things together for Chelsea. In the past, Thiago Silva as well as Willian and Hazard were models for me, he told The Guardian. We continue on. Estavao, I want to win titles and show all my potential, show everything I can do. World Cup, Premier League, UCL. My biggest dream is to be one of the best players in the world. One day I'll be among the best, which is good to hear, the mentality, the belief in himself. Estavao William, when I signed for Chelsea, the next day I scored a goal and celebrated like Palmer. I tagged him on Instagram and he said to me, he said he called me a star. I said he's a star too. He said we're going to do a lot of great things together for Chelsea. We continue on in the interview. I decided for Chelsea because of their planning. I was very pleased with that, and not just for me, but also for my family. It was the club that believed in me and trusted in my work. I hope I can pay that back, which really humble, really wholesome thing to say. We continue on. Estavao William on scoring against Alisson Becker in Brazil practices. In shooting training, I started to hit all the shots and Alisson got a bit angry. He said he was still warming up, that I should wait a little bit, but I took it a bit seriously and scored many goals against him. Yo, that's crazy.
He got our leg back. He watched the FA Cup, bro. He got our leg back. That's proper Chelsea. I don't care what anybody said. He said Liverpool, Alisson in goal. I'm gonna get my leg back.
He took it all in jest, but I hope that next year I can do it again against him in matches, which is that's crazy, bro. I like this kid. And listen, this kid grew up in really wholesome beginnings. I think he even say he doesn't drink. He doesn't like to party. He doesn't like to do any of that stuff.
I've known. I like my cousin actually married like a Brazilian and stuff, and there's like a very big contingent of like Christianity in Brazil, and they take it like very seriously. Like as much as Brazil is known for like the parties and the beaches and the music and everything, there's also a very large contingent that are like very adamantly Christian. and his family, and the way that because his father was also part of like the interview as well. They strike me as like very, very Christian. So yeah, like he has his head on correct, and they're very like making sure that he stays humble, he stays focused. So yeah, I'm not worried about him. He's a good kid.
I do like also that, like he mentioned in the interview, how the recruitment and Chelsea also took into consideration his family, which is great to hear, because that's something obviously as a young kid, the family's all you got. When you're fucking 18, 17, going through the ranks, like your family's making your decisions. You don't got agents. Your dad's probably your agent, or your mother's probably your agent. We saw with Kylian Mbappe and Hakimi as well. Like the family was very involved in the decision making of their futures and their contracts.
Was it Neymar's dad also? Yeah.
Neymar's dad. Wait, Neymar's dad is his agent, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Neymar's dad.
Yeah, Neymar's dad is Estavao's agent as well. So like, listen, man, that's good that he's got his head on his shoulders and he's really ambitious. I think he even said in this interview, which I didn't find it, but I think he said like he's aiming to hopefully one day win the Ballon d'Or, which is, listen, bro,
good.
the sky's the limit.
We need a real Brazilian.
Yeah. Yo, the sky's the limit, and Estavao, like I trust that you're gonna work hard, man. But Ahmed, you want anything you want to add to that one before we might call it a wrap?
Head out, yeah.
Actually, we could talk about Liverpool real quick, and then we call it a wrap if you guys want to.
All I'm gonna say, mate, is one thing. Let's see how it turns out. Thank you.
Sure, fair enough.
Political answer.
Yeah. Let's see how. That's a good while I'm playing FIFA answer. Just saying.
Sadly, I'm not playing FIFA right now.
Call him out.
That's surprising. That's surprising.
I am playing the fantasy metaphor fantasio. You know what I mean? Atlas is you know what I mean? If you played Persona 3, Persona 4, Persona 5.
Persona, you're playing Persona. The
same company.
The one that just say I'm playing Persona, you weirdo. Like,
no, it's not. It's the company that made them has made a new game. It's called Metaphor Fantasy. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Okay. I've seen
I'm now more convinced that bookshelf actually is just full of manga.
Yeah, listen. How about this? Yeah, I'm gonna pick one book here out randomly. Well, look at you guys. Yeah,
the one. Look, he said randomly. Look at the way he's standing. Look at this.
Yo,
he's like remembering where everything is, bro.
No, I'm gonna randomly choose Xavi and Iniesta levels of scanning. Like, look.
The vision skills.
Bro. Come on, you guys count down for me.
What do you mean count down? Like,
all right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look, you're feeling around for the book.
Bro, yeah, I know you're feeling around for the book, bro. He put it back. And
no, I didn't. Literally.
Tokyo Ghoul and it's lit. Okay, bro. Open that book. Let me see.
It's an illustration book, and I'm illustrations, bro.
It's from right to left.
It's from right to left.
That's all I needed to know, bro.
That's all. The deal is sealed. That's all we need to know. All right. Well, I mean, to end the show, obviously, I'm not going to have a chance to really review the game. I'm not going to really have a chance to even preview the game. We have been previewing the game, though, at Husam's channel. Go ahead.
Before you go, can you be up Joel's comment?
Yeah, which one? Okay.
Last one. Joel, yeah, I'm sacrificing the Chelsea game. I'm actually, because the Chelsea game is on the 27th on a Sunday. Yeah, I would have gone to MCM Comic Con, which is like the main Comic Con in the UK, yeah. I'm going on Friday rather than Sunday, you know what I mean? I could have gone on Sunday, you know what I mean? Spent a bit more money, got a bit more attractions, you know what I mean? But I said for the club, for the badge, I'm going on a Friday.
For the badge.
Huh?
You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm going on a Friday. Let that be known, China, you know what I mean? I'm a real one.
Big up Bray Allen.
Wait, hold up. So you're gonna go to the game? Hold on, I'm confused.
I might be going to the game, yeah, because Marshall knows our good friend, our mutual friend, what's it called, Will, said he's gonna have another spare ticket, which I'm gonna obviously, which is.
Oh, bro, you should go. You should go.
So listen, I went to Nottingham Forest. You drew. I've never, yeah.
Never seen a loss.
I've never seen a loss ever. You know what I mean? But last time, my last 2 games, my last record is win against Aston Villa, draw, win against Leeds, FA Cup, under Pochettino, draw against Nottingham Forest, which is this recently, right, the last game, and now hopefully Newcastle I'm hoping to get a win. You know, I don't want to be seeing these draws.
Wait,
all the
which
time, man.
Newcastle game? The league one or the cup one?
The league one, because the league one's at home.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a good game. But, I mean, let's talk about Liverpool-Chelsea. I mean, listen, I have chest. I believe that we are going to get a result. It won't be like a big result, but it'll be a close game. But I do think we can win it. I'm predicting we're going to win it. Like, I feel like... Listen, someone said this stat before. That Liverpool haven't played any team. Liverpool haven't played any team above 9th place this season.
That's true.
Just deep that. So for me, like, I'm not saying like obviously you have to beat the competition that's in front of you. Obviously. But at the same time, like, I see how many chances they're conceding. I see a proper manager with good players in front of him, like I'm sorry, this is the only thing that came to mind. All right, what Thomas Tuchel was able to do was exploit the weaknesses of the opponent, right, in tactics. I think Enzo Maresca's of that same ilk. He's gonna exploit it in some shape or form. And it's up to the players. It's really up to the players to make sure they actually follow the tactics and can actually exploit Liverpool's defense, because I don't think their defense is as good as people claim it to be.
No, not only that, again, like you just said, they also haven't come up against an actual attack like ours.
And that's the other thing too. Like, Ahmed, maybe you could speak on this. RSM, obviously you can, but like Renato Vega, people are the Liverpool fans are sleeping on Renato Vega, and I'll be so honest with you, I think that guy is gonna have a good game. And yeah, he's gonna slip up a little bit, right? Because it's Mo Salah. Like, I can't deny Mo Salah is a world-class player, but he's not the same Mo Salah as before. Like, I don't think he's gonna have to worry about his pace, but like, I think he's gonna do a good, solid job defensively of keeping Mo Salah tame. I mean, Ahmed, tell me what you think about that. Tell me about the game in general, to be honest.
You know, before we start, obviously, the game, I think Vega, mate, you know, he's got to rise to this level, man. He's been rising to the level that he needed to. He rose to League 2 level against Barrow. He rose to I don't know what level, you know.
Although I'm laughing because I remember when we were watching the game, every time Vega made a good play, Ahmed kept saying he found his level.
You know, we have to have Vega, you know. Total aside, obviously, like, in general, bro, he has risen to a level whenever he's been required to, right? And hopefully you hope that against Mo Salah, which is going to be his very biggest test yet, he's going to be able to handle that business, bro. So he's a young lad. Hopefully he can do that, man. That's the main thing I'm going to be asking for. Same can be said about Tosin, but again, Tosin's faced these guys before, so he knows what he's coming up against. It's just about, can you have a cool head, keep calm, collected, and do your job, which I would like to think he can do for one game.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now, in regards to this game against Liverpool, I think, honestly, it's going to end in a draw. That's my prediction. My prediction is a draw. I actually think they underestimated our attack quite a lot. My personal opinion, like, that attack has been underestimated quite heavily. I mean, the way people talk about Madueke, like, oh, Robertson's gonna handle Madueke. Like, come on, bro, let's be serious. Same with guys. You know what I mean?
That actually pissed me off. People
really is like, I disagree with a lot. I think against Sancho, against was a good friend. I think the thing about Chelsea that they do really well, the wingers are able to isolate the fullbacks. You know what I mean? The isolation thing is really key for us, and because our players are so good in doing that job, that, you know, when it comes down to it, it's just about making sure that Jackson, or if it's in QQ up front, whoever it is, they're just able to make sure they're positioned correctly to make sure they got that shot in at the end of the day. So for me, that's what it just comes down to. Again, I've said this before, my prediction is 1-1, in my personal opinion, if not 2-2.
I think that's a fair prediction to make, considering, like, listen, like, I'm not trying to underestimate Liverpool. I know we're going to Anfield. I know it's going to be a tough time. I know it's going to be tough to get a winning result, but I do think this team can do well and actually get a result. And I think it's going to, listen, I'm not going to say that we're going to be title favorites after we get a result. It is Liverpool. I know it's a tough fixture regardless, but, you know, it's not about the one result. It's about doing it over the course of a season, right? So I think, I don't know if Ahmed mentioned this, but I think one factor too that I think the Liverpool fans are not taking into consideration is the fact that Nicholas Jackson is going to be effective in this game. Like we know what he did against Konate and Virgil van Dijk last season, and we know the problem and the headaches that he gives, defenders, central defenders. He's gonna do that. He's gonna pull them out of position, and that's gonna be an opportunity for Cole Palmer to come in and swoop in and take a chance, running behind, or even like it could be Jaden, it could be Nani Madueke. Like these guys, in terms of the chemistry and the fluidity up top, it's there. So I think they're gonna be able to really read each other's movements and kind of just find the spaces, which I think Chelsea are gonna do a good job of like exploiting and forcing. What about you, RSM? What are your thoughts on the game? Like, how do you feel about this going into it?
I don't think that it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a lot better. I think Maresca is gonna set us up tactically better than we were last year away at Anfield. And when I'm looking at the game, I do think that with the way that Liverpool are going to play, I do think that the game, if there is a winner, will probably be decided by an error from somebody in the midfield, like somebody playing a poor pass, a ball being picked off. We actually have the best, I think, or one of the best conversions rates in all of the Premier League. We've also created by a wide margin the most fast breaks in all of the Premier League, which just shows me like if Liverpool's midfield make one mistake, or we force Liverpool's midfield to make one mistake, we're pouncing on it immediately. Like they're not gonna get a chance to respond, and that's gonna be our chance to get something out of that game. In terms of scoreline, like I think all things considered, it probably will end up being a tie. But if there is a winner, I think it's gonna come off like an error in that midfield. So y'all can bookmark this. Whether or not we win or lose, I think an error in the midfield is probably gonna decide it on a fast break or something like that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the midfield, because I feel like that's going to be the biggest decider. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, the one thing that does make me nervous about this match isn't even our defense. I'm actually nervous about Enzo. Like, I'm nervous about what Enzo is going to turn out, because let's be honest, the last few games outside of Brighton, I haven't really been that impressed with what Enzo's been doing. And like, if by, like, this is the thing, if somehow, and I really hope it doesn't happen, and Caicedo, RSM, talk to your boy Caicedo. Bro, if Caicedo gets an early yellow...
I literally said that. I think I said that. I don't know whose stream I was on, but I literally said, like, we have to be super intelligent. Because they're going to, especially...
No, we don't need to worry about getting yellow. I don't care. You know how I've got now? La Vizi is back, baby. Love your nation. There we go, man. There
but he's not... I don't even know if he can play 45.
Brother, he's not played. He's literally been in training for 3 weeks.
No. In terms of the amount, the intensity that I think the game is
going to match sharpness. I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's a risk to media tournament. But what I will say is, like, 100%. Like, we need to be very resolute in the midfield, and we need to make sure that, like, Caicedo isn't being. The issue is, like, when Caicedo gets a yellow, sometimes it's silly, but the majority of the time it's because he's being put in a position where it's like, this is the last opportunity to stop a clear goal scoring opportunity, like pass before the pass kind of thing. So we need to, that's what I'm saying, we need to be set up in a way to where he's not being forced to make those 100% decisions throughout the majority of the game.
Because that's what I think, I'll be honest with you, in my opinion, I think that's what happened during the Nottingham Forest game. He got an early yellow, and it kind of forced Enzo into a position where, like, okay, I need to make these tackles that right now Caicedo can't afford to make, because if he gets sent off,
was it me, or was it a bit BS, that yellow? Like, I'm trying to, like, remember it.
It was BS.
Like,
I think it was
yellow
BS.
was complete BS, bro. I'm, like, trying to remember. I'm like,
it
wasn't even a yellow on the replay. Like, anyways.
Yeah, no. That game in general, like, the refereeing was a little BS, because that was our second game where we conceded, like, what was it, Ahmed? Like 11 yellows in that game or something? No, it was less than that.
We had 13 yellows or 14 yellows. I think that's what the rest was. We had a record, by the way. We had the record number of yellows. And again, there was someone that did like some statistics about the number of yellows you got in each game, and then that game is so high, it's like a crazy anomaly.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that, like, he needs to be careful, and I guarantee you, Liverpool are going to try to force that yellow. They're going to try to force that yellow, because if they take Moises Caicedo out of the game, then it's I think you're forcing Enzo to, like, have to do something that he's not good at.
At that point, I agree with Ahmed, bro. At that point, if it comes down to it, like, I would take Enzo out, put Lavia in. I'm agree with you. Like, we need it, bro. We need it.
We do, but at the same time, like, you need to be careful, because, like, let's say in the first half he gets, Caicedo gets a yellow. I would still play him at least until 60 minutes before I bring on Lavia, because I might want to get the result on that day, but long term wise, like I need Lavia for the rest of the season. So like you got to balance out those, like do I hook him at halftime and just put Lavia in so everything balances out, or do I wait a little bit and bring him on so I don't get him injured? Because that's the thing. Like Lavia did come on against I think it was Brighton, but he came on for like 10 minutes maybe.
Lavia is not come on. Lavia is not coming at all, bro.
No, he has. He played a few minutes.
No, he's not played a few minutes. He's come back from injury. He's not played a single minute, bro.
Yes, he has, dude. He came on for 10 minutes. I'm gonna tell you what game it is right now.
I don't think he's coming at all. I'm gonna be with you. I don't think he's come on even a single minute.
He has. He came in for like 10 to 8 minutes for, I think it was Brighton, I'm pretty sure.
Brighton, bro, I swear, no. I swear I would have remembered it if he came on.
No, he did not.
Y'all don't remember. I'm telling you, he did come on.
My memory is very good, bro. Believe me. Like,
not right now, it's not.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Look, he's searching. He's fiending for it.
I'm
Listen,
looking
at
it.
I just found it the other day. I can't remember.
Oh, he did. He came on in the 79th minute.
Yeah, was it Brighton or was it? Yeah, it was Brighton.
Brighton.
Yeah.
He came on in the 80th minute, pretty much.
You don't got that. You can look it up, bro. It's
no, he
not trolling.
did he come on against Forest? I think
No,
he
didn't come on against Forest.
Let me see.
No, he only came on once, and that was the Brighton game.
Yeah, he only came on.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
Swear on me life, mate.
That means he can't play. He can't play against Liverpool then. Yeah, bring him against Liverpool then. Come on, man. Against Liverpool.
Yeah. I think in terms of who's more likely to come on, I think we're very likely going to see Lavia. We're probably not going to see Reece, if I'm being honest.
No, I doubt we're going to see Reece.
Being like, I need a Reece cameo, I need the Reece assist, and I'm like, bro, I don't think he's there, bro.
It depends on the game, and even if that, like, even if we're winning, let's say we're winning 2-1 or 1-0, I don't even think Enzo Maresca even risks putting on Reece. I just don't think so. Like, it's just too risky. Like, what if you're not fit enough to, if Luis Diaz skins you, bro, because you're not match sharp, GG's. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up.
Bro, you know who are left? No, Gusta's gonna be facing them, right? Not
exactly. Wait, what did you say?
Lavia is not gonna be facing them, bro. It's gonna be Gusta that's gonna be facing them.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying Reece James. If you were to even bring on Reece James, you would be subbing him off for Gusto. And even 5 minutes, like that one moment, like if Luis Diaz is still on the pitch, bro, if you get cooked by Luis Diaz because you're not match sharp, like, nah, I don't think you risk it. Just go home with the point. You play him you give him 10 minutes or something against Newcastle, then another like 15 or 20 against fucking United or something. Like, then you
Marshall, man, you're doing too much, bro. You're doing too much.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I don't think you're even listening to me, so it's all right. Like, point being is.
Why would I listen to Marshall, man? You know what I mean? Again, like,
I don't know, bro. I don't even know why I would listen to me. I don't even know why half of you guys are listening to me. But hey, you're here, and I appreciate you for that. But I don't even think Reece James is going to play a whole 90 minutes this season. I'll be so honest with you.
Reece James ain't playing in Liverpool. He ain't playing against Panathinaikos or whoever is next. He ain't
has
playing
he
against
I don't even know if he has, because I know Luis Diaz started the season off like scintillating, but I don't know in recent games how well he's been doing.
Dropped 3 singers in a row. I heard that like Liverpool fans weren't crashing out on him too much. Like I don't know if it was stinkers or not, but
we probably would have heard it from Sam by now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, listen, it's gonna be interesting. Yes. It's gonna be a fun game. I'm gonna be wearing my kit at the bar when I watch it, and hopefully, I'm not walking out a loser. So.
I already said this. Listen, the Lord Himself, God will need to forgive me for the person I will become if we win this Liverpool game.
Yeah.
The person I will become, bro. Because I'm telling you, I will be on straight demon timing. Everybody,
demon hours. I'm gonna have to really start that Chelsea After Dark, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you right now. Everybody's holding this cooking. Everybody is holding this cooking. If we win a Liverpool game,
bro. Enough said. Listen, if we win, the rival fans are gonna be lucky I'm on vacation, because I'm gonna be intolerable. I'll still be intolerable when I come back, but I'm gonna be intolerable. But yeah. So I said 2-1, Ahmed said 1-1, and I think RSM you said 1-1. No, Ahmed said 2-2.
1-1 or 2-2.
Oh, 1-1.
Yeah,
I
probably
you
think
say 1-1.
I probably think like 1-1.
Listen,
If there is a
1-1's
winner,
not a,
like I said.
yeah, 1-1's not a bad shout considering when we were actually competing, with Tuchel and stuff. Like it was always a 1-1. So, yeah. Big up everybody. Thank you for being here. This is the end of the show. We're calling it right here.
You see, Marshall always has to bring in the people of color to get into 3 hours. You see that, boys? Just to let you know.
That's crazy allegations, bro. Crazy allegations.
Marshall's got me on 0 hour questions, man.
And on that note, Chelsea After Dark.
You know what I mean? Marshall's got me.
I still have more topics, but I'm saving it for next time, bro.
You know what I mean? Marshall's got me on a 0 hour contract, bro. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying.
0 hour contract is crazy.
He's trying to get me to get to 3 hours every single time. Like, if I don't get these 0 hours, I can't feed my lovely wife. He's on the bed right now. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, man. Marshall's like, I'm sorry, sweetheart, man. It's Marshall's fault.
That's crazy. But that's Ahmed for you in a nutshell. You can see more of that on the Bridge Nation YouTube channel down below in the description. RSM is also down below in the description. Check out his channel. I think both of them, if not one of them, are going to be doing a watch along for the YouTube. Wow.
Me and RSM do our watch alongs together. So like obviously last time I was obviously away at Forest, so I wasn't able to watch along. But obviously for this one, guaranteed there's gonna be a watch along because it's away. So like me and RSM together. Obviously RSM's my yang to the yin of me because
Yeah, bro. It's a good balance.
You know what I mean? I always try a little bit, and then he's the one that brings me back a bit of reality.
But listen, like when things work out, when if we are winning and stuff, obviously I'll be tuning into the chats. I'll be in the chat at CP. I don't know why you just showed up, but fair enough. I'll be tuning into the chats, the live stream chats during the game, and I'll be hoping for the best and praying. And if we're winning, obviously I'll be there celebrating with you guys in the chat. But I will. I think I have some pre-recorded content set up for you guys on Casually FC. So if you're an avid watcher, nothing new to watch. But if you're new, then maybe some new content there for you. Some pre-recorded predictions as well that I got to edit tonight. And all that stuff. So there will still be content on the Casually Chelsea show, but no live streams or anything until I come back, which is going to be on the 29th. So yeah, little break for me, little break for the 0 hour crew here. So yeah, go ahead.
You know what Marshall's gonna be doing with the money I'm making him, guy? Yeah, he's going, yeah.
Bro, listen, you make your own money on your channel too, okay?
You know what I mean?
Listen,
Marshall, yeah.
RSM, you got to show me the paychecks. You got to show me the paychecks.
You the paycheck, yeah.
I might have to buy out the contract, bro. I might have to finesse the contract, Lawrence Stewart style, bro. I'll incentivize your contract. Bro.
Guys, can we just put in chat quickly? Just for Marshall's sake, no STDs. Keep it wrapped
no
up.
STDs. Yeah, no. You know, listen, I don't know what I'll be on, but I'll be on something. Listen, I prefer really not to speak. That's all I'm saying.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
What happens in Miami stays in Miami. That's all I gotta say.
When he's missing like a flamethrower, we're gonna be there, bro.
Yo. On that note, ladies and gents, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to smash up the like buttons. Check out all the content from these guys down below in the description. It's all there for you to view. Also, be sure to leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts and everything we discussed today. Hit the bell notification. You're notified whenever we go live. Share the stream if you want to share it as well on Twitter, YouTube, wherever you want to share it. And last but not least, check out our memberships because that's what keeps the lights on, ladies and gents. We have 4 different tiers starting at 99p, and if you are the proper casual tier and higher, we give you shout outs at the end of every show, and that's going to go out to EE, Hassan Nawaz, Dark, Adrian, Soliman, and Scott. And also big up to everyone else who is a member because y'all get to enjoy those cool emojis. Listen, I got ideas. I'm going to be brainstorming while I'm away. I'm going to get you guys some new emojis. I'm going to get you guys some fun emojis so you can enjoy in the chat as well. So big up to the mandem here in the the stream. Big up to you guys in the chat. Like I said, until Poch leaves my club, I am full-fledged English. So Tuchel in. Big up Tuchel. Tuchel to win the World Cup Champions League. All right. Big up to everyone. Have a good night. As always, stay casual. See you when I get back from Florida. Miami, here we come. Tuchel, Miami. Let's go.
Do it.
Tuchel in.